night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. Hey, it's too late to try to go contain it. A generation fueled by creation. We live lives on a small screen nation. We control the airwaves, no negotiation. I refuse to think we need saving. Something good will come from creation. And when we think that the world is too anxious, we'll adapt, evolve, survive, and save it. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. Hey, oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong.
Gino Corsi is the ultimate choice for all of your real estate needs. With a wealth of experience and a deep understanding of local neighborhoods, Gino consistently goes above and beyond to find the perfect home or investment property for his clients. When you choose Gino Corsi as your realtor, you're choosing a trusted partner who will guide you every step of the way to your real estate goals. Are you ready to love where you live?
Hey everyone, it's Gino Corsi with Triple Diamond Real Estate, and I'm so excited to officially announce that I am now a proud sponsor of Missouri State Ice Hockey. When you work with me, you're not only getting a reliable realtor, but also contributing to the growth of our community through local sports. So give me a call if you're ready to team up and find your dream home while cheering on our Missouri State Ice Bears.
Thank you. So, why Springfield? I get asked that a lot, and I choose to live here because Springfield is a place that I can enjoy the life I want.
I love the outdoors.
You can be on the lake in just a short drive.
It only takes me 10 minutes to get to work.
Or off to anywhere in the world.
I know my kids will be safe and well educated.
There are really good job opportunities after graduation.
I'm able to work remotely and create on a high level.
The healthcare options in this area are incredible.
The options for housing and cost of living are so affordable.
We have room to create.
I love to experience the excitement of sports.
Can't beat the food.
Or the drinks.
Why Springfield? Because all the pieces you need to create your own story are here. The only thing missing is you.
Well, there are many great veterans organizations that help our wounded warriors. It's invisible wounds that go unrecognized, leading to addiction, brokenness, and often suicide. The Warriors Journey is a nationally recognized veterans nonprofit headquartered here in Springfield, Missouri. Our programs have helped over 15,000 warriors face those invisible challenges, saving thousands of lives and restoring countless families. No paperwork, no red tape. Learn more at twj.org or text us at 213-TWJ-HELP.
Pride. It is very common for one to associate the word pride with the lions of the Serengeti. But if you make your way to the Ozarks in North America and follow a migration trail that runs straight to Bear Boulevard, you'll find another unique and perhaps superior specimen, also associated with the term pride, the Missouri State Bear. While this bear sports truly unique plumage in the fall, it's the signature maroon and white coat that differentiates this bear from other lesser species. Missouri State Bears are excellent nocturnal foragers, able to easily sniff out a mate, a nest, or the best cashew chicken around. While they can be recognized for their impromptu exuberance, what the Missouri State Bears are truly known for is their pride. It starts with an incredible work ethic, a never-give-up attitude, and their ability to rally around for the greater good. These bears take pride in their habitat, their fellow bears, their community, and their future. It's why Missouri State Bears sit at the top of the educational food chain. How do you know if the bear you see is a Missouri State Bear? Simple. Its trajectory is always onward and upward. And, well, they eat tigers for lunch.
Ball 60! Ball 60 right here, right now!
This is more than a game. This is one team united by one goal.
1, 2, 3, Bears!
We are your Missouri State Ice Bears.
WebSportsRadio.com, in association with KBFL, proudly presents Missouri State University Ice Hockey. With the call, here's Steve Casson.
And live from the Big Slice broadcast booth at Brightspeed Ice Park in the Stan Melton Ice Arena, it is Game 2 between Missouri State and Midland. Hello, everybody. Steve Casson along with Steve Granato. As Missouri State falls yesterday, Steve, by a count of 3-2, and it was a situation where a span of a couple of goals in less than 20 seconds really killed it for Missouri State. We talked about during that game about how Missouri State seemed to take on that second period, but the third was something else.
Yeah, it was one of their poorest periods we've seen here at home this season in that third. Just a little lifeless in that final 20 minutes. It kind of came to life when they got that late 5-minute major called for them. They ended up pulling the goaltender in the final minute, but it wasn't enough. But they certainly played a lot better in the final 3 minutes of play in the third period last night. We'll see if they can continue that here into Game 2.
As we take a look at the Cage Insurance pregame report, the key, though, for Missouri State is the fact that they have to be consistent, and that's been an issue.
Yeah, that's certainly been an issue, and they have been missing some guys this season, and we know that that has contributed, but the guys on the ice are certainly going to need to find a full 60 here to pick a win out of this weekend.
Missouri State, of course, in the first period, they get a goal to counteract the goal by Midland. And then in the third period, as you mentioned, Steve, a goal a little late, made it a 3-2 contest. One of the other keys, too, were power plays. Missouri State, 2 for 7, but they had some opportunities that they did not counter on. Now, early on in that game, you mentioned about the fact that 6 shots, none of them made it to the goaltender because 5 were blocked and 1 went over the net.
Yeah, I think that was something that was super important for the Midland defense last night. When they were taking a lot of penalties, they took 4 in that first period alone and only a couple in the remainder of that contest. But one thing they did so well defensively was plug up the middle of the ice and standing in front of their netminder and acting as multiple blockades before it got all the way to the net. So they did a fantastic job there, and I think the Missouri State squad's going to have to find a way to try and create some space on the ice because spacing was a problem last night.
Both teams right now under 500 by game. Missouri State 8-9-2, Midland 10-11-1. Let's look at the leading scorers for Missouri State. And for the Ice Bears, none other than Tommy Raymer leads the team in scoring and assists. He didn't have any points last night, so he lost a 4-game point scoring streak where he had a goal and 6 assists during those 4 games. But Tommy Raymer has been one of those guys that from the get-go has been a standout for Missouri State, and he's a defenseman.
Yeah, it's Raymer and Baginski as the guys that I've tabbed on this team that have really emerged this season as go-to presences on the ice. Guys that have a ton of patience, guys that know what to do with the puck. They know how to protect the puck, and they really keep their heads calm. And that was another big point for Tommy Raymer last night.
Second for Missouri State, and that is Jack Dapron. Now Dapron, who came over from the University of Missouri, all of a sudden has picked it up, and he's become their second leading scorer. A 2-game goal scoring streak, has 3 goals in his past 2 games, 9 career goals with Missouri State. But he, as the number 2 leader for Missouri State, is starting to do what he needs to do on the ice.
And he put another one in the back of the net last night, so that obviously massive, the 2 power play goals for MSU last night. But you're obviously going to keep your eye on Jack Dapron on the first line here tonight.
Third for Missouri State. And Duke Bacardi has a 2-game assist streak. 3 assists in the last 6 games and 3 multi-point games for him. And Duke, he's one of those players too. Started off slow, and all of a sudden he's starting to pick up his game, and he is a player to be reckoned with.
Yeah, he'll be on the third line tonight with Baginski and Josephson. A couple of shifts here for Tom Winkler tonight. I think he's trying to find a little bit of a different mojo, especially considering the final 20 last night.
Fourth for Missouri State. That is Will Baginski. 3-game point streak for him, 2 goals and 2 assists in 3 games. 7 points away from a career high of 5 goals and 14 assists that he established back in the 23-24 season, averaging .67 points per game.
Yeah, Baginski last night, that was one of the, he had so many chances in last night's game. He had 2 different stages in which he had an open net to shoot at. He had a couple of rebounds kick out for him too. He had a really strong game. He ended up missing one of those wide open opportunities. The other one, I think, was hit by a defenseman's stick. But nonetheless, I think I kind of alluded to it earlier. The one thing that really sticks out to me when it comes to Will Baginski is his patience on the ice. He's never quick to take that first shot. I think there was one moment off a face-off in the second period last night in which he took a quick shot off of a draw. That was pretty much it. Every other time he gets the puck, he is waiting to see the best opportunity that he can find when he has the puck on his stick, whether that's finding the open lane for a pass, creating some space to open up the umbrella, or, of course, taking that quick snapshot that he has.
Fifth for the Ice Bears. And that is Jared Bratton. Now, he was pointless last night. His last points were multi-point game, 1 goal and 1 assist versus Central Oklahoma on November 23rd. Career-wise, 21 goals, 43 assists for Jared Bratton in a string of 2 other Brattons that have played for Missouri State, averaging just over a half a point per game.
It was a little bit of a quiet night for Jared Bratton last night, so I'm curious to see how he bounces back.
He did hit the post, though.
He did.
And that was kind of an interesting move, though, on the backhander. And that was a time when Missouri State really needed something, because you kind of felt, I don't know if anybody else felt this, but you kind of felt Missouri State was struggling a little bit, and maybe that goal could have changed momentum at that point.
Yeah, of course, they were struggling to find the flow in the third period, and I think it started with a couple of whistles, a couple of offsides, a few icings, and it kind of really threw things off there in the first couple of minutes of that third period, but obviously 2 quick ones from Midland really changed the pace of the game.
Taking a look at the goaltending situation for Missouri State, of course, all 3 goaltenders have seen action. Now, what we do know, and of course we're not medical doctors, but we do know that Brady Govero left the first period, or actually played the first period, left, did not start the second period. Ross Jones came in, and he made 20 saves out of 22 shots. The Ice Bears, of course, did lose the game. But tonight, I have been told by head coach Tom Winkler that they're still evaluating Govero, most likely a lower body injury. So it's a situation where you have 1 game left until you kind of take a break. Don't worry about it. Get it looked at. Get it taken care of. It may be nothing. It may be something. Again, we're not a doctor, but that's the latest that we know at this point. The starter tonight, though, will be Austin Gilbert. He's 0-2. The stats don't predict what kind of a goaltender he is. 8.39 goals against average. Again, it's a small sample size for him, but Ross Jones will be the backup tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see Austin Gilbert. Personally, for both of us, actually, it's going to be the first time we see him here this season. We haven't seen him on the ice here at in Missouri since January of last season. So this is only his 6th career start in an MSU sweater. So first time he gets the start here at home in 24-25. So I'm sure he's amped up and ready to go to try and earn a split here this weekend.
We'll look at the visitors and the Midland Warriors. Leading now is Thomas Babb with 10 goals and 10 assists, 20 points for him. Milan Bretsko, same thing, 20 points. They're both averaging .91 points per game. And the interesting thing about Milan Bretsko, or make that, Milan Bretsko, is Bretsko, if I can look at my notes here and find what I was going to say about him. Well, Bretsko did not have any points yesterday. That is now 6 games that he has not scored, and that's been a little tough for the Midland Warriors, really asking for him to produce points. Kyle Graffelman is 3rd, and Matthew Koganowski is 4th, along with Ethan Brown. 9 players of the top, including the top 5, are in double-digit scoring. So it's, again, a small sample size of players that are putting the puck in the net for the Warriors.
You mentioned Milan Bretsko, obviously, like you said, a 6-game pointsless streak for him, still tied for the team lead, which is impressive in its own right. But I think it's just a matter of time for a guy like that. I was pretty impressed with the way he skated last night, really impressed with the quickness of his hands, his ability to find the slot and find quick snapshots. I mentioned Baginski on the other side of the ice with his quick snapshot, and I think you can kind of say the same for Milan Bretsko. I really like his hands. I think he's able to pick the puck up nicely, get underneath it, and search for the top shelf. So I don't think it's going to be much longer here during this 6-game pointless streak before you find Bretsko on the score sheet again.
I want to say hi to the Babb family who are watching. We heard that they've been watching the game, so welcome in as you take a look at these two teams. Let's look at the goaltending core for the Warriors. And once again, it will be Liam Taraposki. He will be in net tonight. He's 6-8 with a 3.08 goals against average and a .910 save percentage. He saw some shots yesterday. He gave up a couple of goals, but he's still doing what he needs to do to keep Missouri State, at least in yesterday's game, off the boards.
I think what it was for Taraposki last night, obviously small sample size, we only watched him for 60 minutes, and in reality it was only about 42 that he was actually working. But what really stood out to me for Liam Taraposki was his positioning. I think he took really good angles towards the puck. I think he did a really good job of controlling the outside of the net mouth and really cutting off the angles. So there was one point in the game, I believe it was in the second period, I forgot who had the puck, but he was able to cut off pretty much a 2-on-1 on the far side of the ice. He was able to cut off the angle. He showed the top corner. He took the top corner away. These are things that, you know, a more veteran style of goalie is going to be able to do. So I was really impressed with his positioning, his angles, and it's just an overall soundness in between the pipes last night.
A goaltender out of Yellowknife, Northwest Territory, Canada, Liam Taraposki. Let's look at the matchup here tonight for these two teams. Again, the record goes to the Warriors. They have more wins. Missouri State with the goals for category. Goals against favors the Warriors, and the goal differential, of course, is in favor of the Warriors. And if you look at the special teams, Missouri State 16 for 87. That is an 18.4% clip, and then 23 for 101 at 22.8. So Midland leads on the special teams on the power play, and then same thing on the penalty kill. Missouri State was able to get a couple of power play goals and break through their 90% penalty kill yesterday. It has now dropped down to 88.7. They've given up 12 of 106, and Missouri State on the penalty kill, they have only allowed 12 of 64, 81.3%.
Now, Steve, we had talked a lot about it, especially in the opening period, the quick shifts for Midland, the 30-second, 25-second at times shifts, especially early on in the contest. It kind of waned a little bit later on in the game. But something that we noticed, obviously, in that or at least we conjectured maybe they're going to be slowing down towards the end of the game. I don't think that necessarily was the case with those quick shifts. Obviously, guys getting more ice time, albeit in quicker spurts. You can anticipate maybe the legs might get a little bit tired towards the end of the game, and they really didn't. I think that Midland did a great job in the third period of pushing the pace and keeping the puck on their side. So I'm very curious to see one more time to see if they come out with that same attack plan. Do we see Midland continuing these quick shifts? We don't see a single change in their lineup here tonight. Same lines, same D pairings, and same goaltending situation. So I wouldn't anticipate them changing anything, considering it worked so well yesterday. But obviously, the one big problem they had in that first period was taking just too many penalties. So we'll see if they can be a little more disciplined in the opening 20.
As we close out the Cadence Insurance pregame report, let's join public address announcer Kevin Thurrow for the on-ice festivities.
Forward number 44, Logan Watton. At forward number 86, Lass Reichert. On defense number 8, Jack Olson. On defense number 22, Jared Wisely. And in net number 33, Liam Taraposki. The Warriors are coached by head coach Jan Dahm, assistant coaches Fletcher Chun and Garrett Poland. And now, ladies and gentlemen, from the heart of Springfield, Missouri, inside the Brightspeed Ice Park and within the beautiful Stan Melton Arena, it's time. Everyone on your feet. Let's meet the starters for your Missouri State Ice Bears. Starting at forward, number 15, Jared Bratton. At forward, number 19, Jack Dapron. At forward, number 75, Cameron Reel. On defense, number 5, Derek Cagle. Also on defense, number 12, Joey Bacardi. And starting in goal tonight for the Missouri State Ice Bears, number 35, Austin Gilbert. And joining the Ice Bears on the ice tonight is 7-year-old Eli Basie, a student at Springfield Lutheran School and a participant of the Brightspeed Ice Parks program, the Ice Cubs. The Bears are coached by head coach Tom Winkler and assistant coach Ryan Armstrong. Referees for tonight's game, James Holmes, Vaughn Upton, linesmen Kevin White and Mark Marzola. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing as we honor America with the singing of the national anthem, performed tonight by the Finley River Boys.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Well, that wasn't Kevin Thurrow in the beginning there. I think he's here.
Find him somewhere.
Well, Missouri State hopes that they can be present in the first period. We talked about the quick line changes of Midland. Missouri State may have to do the same thing to keep up the tempo, but the key is, and we saw it yesterday, when Missouri State does not score the first goal, it's been difficult for them.
Yeah, it's been tough for them to come back. They have not been a team that really puts the pedal to the metal when going down. There have been occasions, don't get me wrong here, and I think a lot of it had to do yesterday with Midland's forecheck pressure, right? We talked a lot about that, especially in the first period, how strong the forecheck pressure was, and I think the guy that did the most damage on that was Logan Wadden. Logan Wadden was so good on the forecheck, and of course, he's on the right wing to start here in the first period.
Missouri State skates from the left to the right, Midland from the right to the left. Coming in for the Ice Bears is Jared Bratton, and he will win the draw, though it'll be controlled by Midland. They work it down low. Jared wisely sends it to the near side boards. Board battle there. Bratton tries to push it through. He can't work it through. Taken away by Richer, as Laissez Richer sends it all the way out. Tipped in by Missouri State's Cameron Reel and taken away by the Warriors. Logan Wooden. He gets a drive in. First save by Gilbert, and the Ice Bears will bring it in, and they'll get a drive themselves. Taraposki will drop it down, gives it to Matt Kowanchowski, and they direct traffic back behind the net. Working and looking is Matthew Cardinal Tom. Sends it up to Kowanchowski, and Kowanchowski will drive it down into the Missouri State end. Slow start once again here in the first period. We'll see who it benefits. Ice Bears can't control. Drive comes in, missing wide to the left side of Gilbert. Sent in by Kowanchowski once again. Line change for Midland. Worked down low on the far side. Well, I guess it's the far side to us, but it's the left side of the rink. Puck is sent in as it's flipped up. Stays in play, though, and the Ice Bears will regain it center ice. The Big Slice broadcast booth is far to the right side of the rink here, even though you're looking at center ice camera work. Puck to the far side. Battle for it there along the goal line. Coming down to 18:10 to go in the first period. Ice Bears hoping to split the series here. They had won 4 straight at home until the loss yesterday. Shots now favor Midland, and here come Missouri State. Duke Bacardi works it through some skates, taken away though by Milan. Leo Milan got a goal in yesterday's game. His drive misses up high, and up underneath a sliding Warrior. Tried to get a shot off as he was sliding through, and that was Matt McCaw. Getting hit is Duke Bacardi on the near side board, swims it all the way around, and it's out to center ice. Grabbed by Zach, that is Justice, but the Ice Bears are able to take it away. Gavin Henderson does the work to bring it down in. Now Booth will hold it along, wait for Henderson to get through. Henderson sends it over to the far side. Nobody there for Missouri State. Makes its way, though, out to Gavin Henderson, who on the back check is able to get control. Here come the Ice Bears across the line. Here's Matt McGowan. McGowan today, as he gets a drive in, it's blocked partially. McGowan has been, I don't want to use the word relegated, but he's on the 4th line today, is Matt McGowan.
Of course, playing in the back end of a back-to-back. Hasn't played in a while. Makes sense.
He, along with Landon Booth and Gavin Henderson. Puck at center. Ice Bears give it away as Olsen will pick it up, and Missouri State says no thank you, and they'll drive it back in and go for a line change. But that may be a break here for Wooden. Wooden to the drive, it missed wide. Actually, he gave that back to Matthew Cardinal Tom with a drive that missed. 16-19 to go in the period. Non-stop action in the first, which, okay, kind of benefits us a little bit, or at least it benefits me. There's another game after this starting at 8 o'clock Central Time, and I made note that there's not much time in between the two games, like what we're used to. Here come the Ice Bears. Jack Dapron drive in, sails high up over the goaltender Taraposki. Back into the corner, shot is deflected away as Cameron Reel got the attempt. Reel to chase. Ice Bears keep it in. Reel tries to work it. Reel, though, got his first Missouri State goal against OU, Oklahoma, on November 9th. That's his only point this season. Puck behind the net. Grabbed by Thomas Babb. 10 goals with the one yesterday to go with his 10 assists. 20 points for him. He's one of the leaders. Puck's sent all the way down. Do we get an icing here? We do.
I was literally about to say, I don't mean to jinx it, but we haven't had a whistle yet, and there's the first whistle. Nearly 5 minutes in, this is going to be just the second face-off.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that. I had a hunch, and I was thinking it, but I did not want to say anything about it. That's why I mentioned about the fast first period here. Ice Bears do win the draw again. They drop it down in. Kaspic not able to grab. It'll be taken away by Wisely for Midland and right at the Missouri State line. Chipped away on a good play by Evan Ross. He'll drop it down. The line of Evan Ross, Nick Summers, and Mason Kaspic. Ice Bears do what they could. I thought they was tipped out. Officials say no, it's onside, so they play again, and a drive missing wide. Shots even up at 2 apiece. No score here in the first period. 14:43 to go. Puck driven down. Kaspic puts kind of a arm shake on Brown, and we come the other way. Out to center, right side for Babb. Looks for a centering pass and makes its way to Ethan Brown. Drive over to the far side. Now up to Cardinal Tom. I don't know if it's Matthew Cardinal Tom or Matthew Cardinal Tom. I'm not sure. Here's a drive in. Deflected up, hits the glass, stays in. Taken by Justice. Zach with a goal and 9 assists to his credit. Drive comes in, steered into the corner. So the Ice Bears with 14 minutes remaining at least have had some pressure here in this first period. Trying to wrap around. It comes out in front and a good save. Rebound is taken by Cardinal Tom, and the Ice Bears, as soon as I say that, all of a sudden starting to have trouble in their own end. 13:40 to go in the period, no score. Taken by Kochanowski, worked up on the goal mouth, and the Ice Bears cannot afford to have an injured goaltender. And as Gilbert was on the ice covering the puck, a stick came in and knocked him over the head. I don't know if we can take a look at it here. But there he is. He's made the save. He's down on the ice. There's a stick right to his head.
Twice. Got him in the top or in the back of the head, and then cut him, looked to be square between the eyes.
I mean, that should be a penalty. Any way you chop it up. Goaltender's defenseless. The whistle blew. No reason to keep a stick in there. But I'm sure it'll come back some way, somehow. Ice Bears are able to get it down. Racing is Bacardi. Look for a centering pass. It ends up in the mitt of Taraposki, and he'll hold on.
We saw a lot of that here in the third period last night as a little dust up after the fact. I think that's Bacardi that got dispelled by Wisely. No, I'm kidding. That was Baginski. But the third period, we saw a lot of dump and chase attempts from Missouri State. And a lot of those attempts that were working early in the game kind of stopped working. I think they didn't have enough speed to get to the pucks, or at least to challenge pucks, especially in the corners in the third period last night when they did dump and chase. So that's something they're going to have to work on if they're going to want to try and keep that play style on the offensive side.
They're going to kick Bacardi out. Duke. He'll come. He will be Baginski. Comes in to take the draw from Lukachovic. Draw one, but it's kept down low along the goal line. And a quick pass to Lukachovic. He feeds Wooden. He'll have it on the right side. Good defensive work by Raymer to kick it over to the corner, and the Ice Bears bring it out. They have a 2-on-3 now as they work it through. Baginski with a drive, and Taraposki says no thank you.
I like that idea by Will Baginski. Try to keep that shot low. You're working 2-on-1, and you try and keep that shot low to give up a rebound, but a nice job by the netminder Taraposki to stick that glove down and pick it up.
Shot 7-4, and that favors the Midland Warriors. Missouri State trying to split the series. They lost yesterday 3-2. Scored a late goal in the third and did not have the muster to get the tying goal. There was an opportunity.
Oh, there was flurries at the end of that game. Final 40 seconds or so was a bit of a madhouse.
Hunter Booth will send it in. Rimmed around to the far side. Now it's out to center as Henderson couldn't catch it on the near end. The Ice Bears will set it up again. No score with 12:22 to go in period one. Henderson will work it down. Cut off behind from Booth and taken away by Midland and Bretzko. One arms through, drops it off to Babb, works it over to the far side. Checked into the corner by Graffelman. Now the Ice Bears will have it behind their own net. Trying to work things out. Too far for Henderson. So it's Ethan Brown. 3 goals, 9 assists for Brown. Scoreless in the last 6 games for him. 11:45 to go. Big hit behind the net. The Ice Bears will be the ones that come up with a puck. Sent all the way down. Icing is the call. 11:37 to go.
Steve, you got another one coming up here tonight, but it's going to be a long time until we see the Ice Bears back here on the Division I side. January 17th, the next time they'll play here at home. Of course, with the finals coming up this week, they'll be off, and then off for the winter break until they'll kick it back up, go out to McKendree the early part of January, and then won't be back here until the University of Nevada, Las Vegas is in town on the 17th and 18th right here at Brightspeed Ice Park.
Our next broadcast will be January 10th and 11th where we will have Drury. So that'll be our next broadcast. And then, as you mentioned, Missouri State will play Nevada, Las Vegas, the Running Rebels, on the 17th and 18th of January.
Skating Rebels.
Oh, are they the Skating Rebels?
that just coined that. There you go.
Yeah, they could be. Just like we're the Ice Bears.
There you go.
Got it. Down below the goal line, getting pushed away is Real. Now McCaw will send it to the far side for Midland. Big hit there applied by the Ice Bears McGowan. And it's cleared. Lead pass. Weber. Drive off. That is deflected. Good save on the return by Austin Gilbert. And the Ice Bears will come back. Getting his pocket picked is Bratton. Getting his stick held is Bratton. Getting no call is Bratton. Getting upset is Bratton. And now we get a penalty. It's a hooking call.
Yeah, that was really, really delayed. It's the right call, but it was really delayed, and that's what the complaining is here from Zach Justice. I don't blame him for being upset. It's like, well, you weren't going to call it. You let me get away with it. Why are you calling it now? Just because some guy is mad? Both parties rightfully upset.
Now you can argue either way, but it is a power play for Missouri State on the hooking call that's been assessed to Justice. So no Justice here.
Obviously, multiple power play chances last night. Both goals coming on the power play for Missouri State. I thought they played pretty well power play-wise last night on the action that they got. And they're very active in the offensive zone. They established the zone well. It was really just the Midland defense that played well in front of their own net.
Missouri State struggling to win the draw, and we get a stoppage in play for...
I think they're calling a hand pass here.
I'm thinking that, or an offside or something to the effect. The play was along the line.
You can't be offside if the face-off's coming this way, so.
No. So, hand pass it will be. 150 remaining in the power play. But that's been key too. Missouri State getting power play established. Something they've recently struggled with. Well, they do win the draw, do the Ice Bears, and they'll set it up. Raymer rims it behind the net. A couple of players will fight for it, including Kaspick. Now Wisely steals for Midland. Over to the far side, Raymer will protect. Work it to Summers. Now to Kaspick. Power play with 1:30. Up to Bacardi. That's Duke Bacardi. Work it to Summers. Oh, and he fanned on the intended pass, and it's cleared. 1:17 to go. Missouri State in across the zone with Bacardi. Puck bounces right out in front. Kaspick will grab. 1:05 to go on the power play. Now Kaspick from Raymer over to Bacardi. Back to Raymer up top. Trying to work the puck to Bacardi. 56 seconds remaining in the power play. No score. 9:27 to go in period one. Bacardi right side. Now to the left side. Anderson, and he missed. Or is that? No, that is not Anderson. That's 15 and Jared Bratton. Now we're going to get the Ice Bears back in their own zone to work it again. 33 seconds remaining in the power play. Oh, the Ice Bears cannot steal the puck in their own zone. They had several touches on it. But killing off some time is Matt McCaw. Now just 16 remaining. Out of his own zone, Baginski. Ice Bears change one on the back. Baginski works it through, picks up the puck, good centering pass to Bacardi. He scores! This is Joey Bacardi, who gets his second straight goal, and Missouri State takes the lead for the first time in a while, and there was 2 seconds left on the power play, so it is a power play goal.
was just kind of a broken play. Will Baginski had skated his way through neutral ice and entered the zone. The puck kind of rolled off his stick, which ultimately forced him down below the goal line to get back in possession. He just spun it back out in front. Lo and behold, he found Joey Bacardi, who just rips one on the far post.
We get the announcement, and I'm not sure who the public address announcer is. That is Bacardi's third goal of the season.
Goal to Ice Bears number 12, Joey Bacardi. Assist number 10, Will Baginski, and number 5, Jared Bratton. That is an Ice Bears.
Okay. We know it's an Ice Bears goal.
That was the only shot they took on net in that power play, by the way.
And we will get the time of that goal coming up in just a moment, but Missouri State does have the lead here, and that is a boost for Missouri State. Out shooting Midland by a count of, or take that back, Midland's out shooting the Ice Bears by a count of 9-6. Now here come the Warriors across the Missouri State line, getting upended at the line was Graffelman as we get an icing call here.
At the time
or
of
an
goal.
Offside, actually.
Time of goal on that one, 11:25, Steve.
Apparently Kevin Thurrow is not here tonight. That's all good. Here come the Ice Bears again. Shot in offside, though, as Dapron got the drive there. .7:17 to go in the period. See, when you work for a big club, there are so many people that give you the information. They give you the time of the goal. They give you how many goals he had. They give you the assist, and you know them right away.
Yeah,
you don't have to wait for the PA guy.
I don't need to have my hand held. I got it. We'll figure it out. We got a dynamic duo up here, Steve. I think we can figure things out.
Absolutely. First time in a while I've had a dynamic duel.
There you go.
I don't know if you're listening out there, Dan Lee, but Dan Lee, my old broadcast partner, I may have told you this story before, but we're both play-by-play guys. None of us wanted to be color, so we devised a way. We'll get to it in a second here as the Ice Bears have possession. Well, they don't now. Grabbed by Hood. He'll bring it across the Missouri State line. 6:48 to go in the period. Bratton calling for the puck. A little bit slow to get to him, and now he'll drive it back in. But Dan Lee and I devised a way that I'll take one side of the ice until the red line, and then he'll pick up the play on the other side of the ice, and then as it comes back the other way, we'll just hand it off to each other. And we basically did play-by-play the entire game like that. And we did it for about 8 or 9 years.
Synchronized swimming of sorts.
Of sorts. People tended to like it, so we tended to keep it. Here come the Ice Bears. Here's a break. Dapron coming in, and he gets his pocket pick. Bacardi, that's Duke Bacardi with a shot. We're going to get a penalty, and it's going to go against Midland, as getting pushed down was Bacardi in the corner. And Missouri State should have a power play here.
This is great work from Leo Milan. He's the one that coughs up the puck here at his own blue line and then has to race back. Look at that little pocket pick right there. But it's the play after the fact that ends up drawing the whistle. So that was a nice play by Leo Milan to hustle back, not give up on his own mistake. He ends up holding off what could have been a 1-on-none for Jack Dapron. And that was just a great hustle play for Milan.
Larson is in the penalty box. Second power play now for Missouri State. This one is a charging call. Now it comes to Duke. He'll work with it. His brother's already scored. Let's see if Duke can. Drive comes in, blockered by Taraposki off of Raymer. Now to Bacardi, centered in front. Ross Jones, or I take that back. That is not Ross Jones. That is Evan Ross who got the shot. And a good save by Taraposki. Again, Ross Jones is the goaltender. Evan Ross is the player. Kaspick in for Missouri State. He'll take the draw. McCaw in for Midland, and the Ice Bears win. Raymer with a drive in. Taraposky with the save. Kaspick will overrun it, and it gets cleared all the way down. 1:30 remaining in the power play. We'll see if the Ice Bears waited till 2 seconds left in the first power play to score.
Yeah, you got all the time in the world then.
Here they come, across the line, into the zone, working it is Baginski, looking for somebody up front. It finds its way past Ross on the deflected puck. Now Raymer shoots, and a save by Taraposky. Caught him leaning and may have been tipped in front. The Ice Bears try it again with Raymer. 1:02 to go on the power play. To the left circle, Baginski to Raymer, left side. Raymer shoots, sits up high. Bacardi, Duke up top to Raymer. 48 seconds in the power play. Missouri State leads by 1. 4:52 to go in the period. Here's a shot in, blockered away as Raymer got that. And he got it through too. Ross in front, drive tipped as Ross tips it. Taraposky is able to make the save, and Missouri State will change up on this power play unit.
The first play of that shift there was Will Baginski diving in, not too dissimilar than the pass play that he had with Joey Bacardi to find the back of the net the first time around. So I'm trying to go back to the old bag of tricks there for Will Baginski. That time, however, saved by Taraposky.
Face off to the right of Taraposky, left as you look at it on Web Sports Radio. Bratton in, he'll try to win it from Woden. Ice Bears have it. Flipped up off the glass, not cleared yet. Backhanded and did get sent out by Lukachovic. And Missouri State with 18 seconds remaining. Last rush here. Across the line to Summers. Offside though. 10 seconds to go. Coming up at the first period intermission, we will speak with Staff Sergeant, that is, Tyler Weinstein, who is doing the Toys for Tots. He's the coordinator for it, and they are here to solicit toys for the Tots. Talk to him coming up in the first period. Wisely, he'll send it down in. 2 seconds to go, and they're not going to score here on the power play. So we're back to 5-on-5 with now 4 minutes to go in the period. Here's Bratton, drive in, Taraposky will hold on. Shots now favor Missouri State. Well, if they give a shot there, it'll be 13, but right now it's 12-9 favor of Missouri State. And they lead on the scoreboard 1-0, 11:25. Joey Bacardi with his third, second in a row. Baginski and Bratton with assists. Joey Bacardi with a 2-game goal scoring streak. Play down to the Missouri State zone with 3:45 to go. Ice Bears will spread it out in their own defensive zone. Frederick, he'll work it through. He gets upended. Penalty coming up. So Missouri State will go on another power play. And we've got Frederick a little upset. Is it going to be 2 or just 1? Tripping will be the call. Back in the penalty box, Larson.
I think it should be Graffelman, Steve. That's what it looked like, at least on the initial play. I thought it was Graffelman.
Now the officials, well, yeah,
it's Carl
Graffelman. It is Graffelman. I thought I saw, yeah, it is. He is in there. So Graffelman is in, as you say. Missouri State on power play number 3.
Already, again.
Here's Raymer, shot in, gloved by Taraposki.
So what is that, 9 power play chances this weekend for Missouri State? 7 of them have come in the first period.
Yeah, and the 2 power play goals that were scored were in the third.
Except today.
Correct, except for today. I take that back. They actually scored 1 in the first yesterday.
That's
and
right.
Then one in the
one
third.
in the third during the 5-minute major.
Drive in again is gloved.
See, we get there eventually.
Eventually, yes.
We talk it out.
Absolutely. Except when the Kings play the Ducks. Then,
yeah, then we don't text.
No. Except to say ha ha, and then of course you'll text right back. Oh, look at that. I liked it when we used to have ties. Then nobody fought. Bacardi up top. Power play for 130. Back to Duke Bacardi, that is. Tommy Raymer there. Drive in, missing wide to the right side. It is not cleared. Although the Ice Bears, it was kept in by Baginski, but off of his glove, and either way would have been a hand pass. So the Ice Bears will see this one come outside the zone.
I hesitate to say this too loud in fear of the Midland coaching staff hearing what I'm about to say, but MSU has really been favoring the near side on their power play. Heavily favoring the near side. They very rarely pass to the far side wall. But Midland's got a smart coaching staff. We've had a pleasure of getting to know them over the last 2 days, and they know what they're doing over there.
Yeah, Jan Dam, along with William Chun and Garrett Poland, part of that coaching staff. Ice Bears have it again. 1:03 to go in the power play. They lead by 1. Drive is tipped up, over, and not cleared. Kept in. Dapron, good play right side now, as getting a handle on it was Bratton, but he still couldn't work with it. Dapron to chip it away. And finally, it's cleared out on a backhander all the way down by Lukachovic. 37 seconds remaining in the man advantage. The Ice Bears with a 1-0 lead coming down to 2 minutes remaining in period 1. Across the line in the zone is Bratton looking for a tip by Summers, but it gets deflected underneath the stick of Cagle and out to center. Here's a break for Hood. He sits a backhander through and scores. We're tied at 1.
That was filthy. Isaac Hood racing to win that puck in the neutral zone, and it just didn't give up on the play. Watch him right here. This quick move. Whoop. Gets enough on the inside track and just muscles his way back towards the net. That is a nifty little goal for Isaac Hood, his second of the year.
Kind of turned Joey Bacardi around there. We'll catch the call.
Short-handed goal for the Midland Warriors, scored by number 17, Isaac Hood, at 18 minutes and 15 seconds.
18:15 will be the time of the goal. And that for Missouri State is just the second shorthanded goal they've given up. So no assists. Power play is expired. Scott's asking me what will happen tonight between Minnesota and LA.
Well, given how it went for the boys in Anaheim last night, might not be boding well for how it's going to go for you tonight in LA.
Well, I think that they've got a little bit of a head shrink going on, so maybe LA will win. Thinking, oh, we beat the lowly Ducks, so
All
maybe.
right. Let's get through these next 60 seconds. What do you say?
1 minute remaining. Tipped right through and missed by Bretzko. Bretzko standing in front, just tipped it wide. Ice Bears do get to clear, and it's out to center. Back behind the net. Working it is Gavin Henderson, looking for a return pass. He's taken out of the play by Graffelman. Now, getting slammed into the Midland boards after a backhander. It was the Ice Bears' Tommy Levine. I wonder if our social media staff got a picture of that one. He was kind of left out to dry as we've got a penalty coming up here. There's a couple of players behind the net, including Levine, I believe.
Yeah, that is Levine.
I think that may have been retaliation for that hit.
That was Tommy Babb and Levine after the fact. Yeah, that's a pretty healthy boarding there.
Got to get them both, though, apparently.
And I think that's what Jan Dam, the head coach of Midland, is asking for clarification for. It's like, why is my guy going? He's the one that got slammed into the wall.
Maybe he's saying, oh, I forgot the other one, sorry.
I mean, it's kind of like what we saw earlier, right? When there was the hooking call. You didn't call it right away, so you let it go. You can't call it later. It's over. The play's done. So I think there is a valid part to this argument, I'd assume, from Jan Dam.
So we skate 4-on-4 with 5 seconds to go. Maybe one last shot by Milan as the buzzer sounds on that last second attempt by Brown, and we finish tied 1-1.
Levine holding 2 minutes at 19 minutes and 53 seconds. For the Midland Warriors, number 14, Thomas Babb, holding 2 minutes.
Holding.
At 19 minutes and 53 seconds.
I guess you got to call something.
Yeah.
They gave it a hold. Sure, why not? Like we said, you kind of just had to figure it out, just give them something to put them both in the box.
Shots on goal in the period. Missouri State 14 on Taraposki, 13 on Austin Gilbert. As we take a look at the stats here at the first period intermission. But a 1-1 contest, Steve, and yes, Missouri State seemed to play a little bit better than yesterday, of course, but the key, obviously, getting the first goal, but the other key is the fact that we're now tied at 1.
Yeah, Midland didn't come out with that same pace that they did in the opening period yesterday. So I think that's kind of the starting point of where you have to start when you're starting with this one here. Is that MSU didn't necessarily come out of the gate slow by any stretch of the imagination. Kind of took a few minutes, a couple of shifts to find the rhythm here in that first period. But all in all, I think a fair period for both sides. Again, the penalties are starting to pile up one more time. That's now 4 penalties already taken here for Midland. So I got to imagine that's going to be a focal point here in this locker room conversation to try and figure out, guys, you got to be a little more disciplined. That's now 8 penalties taken in the first period of this weekend. So that's just too many. There's no way to shake a stick at that one in any other way than to say it's just too many. But they escape with a 1-1 game, and I think they got to be pretty happy with that.
I think one of the keys, too, for Missouri State is, yes, shots are 14-13, but they are getting better shots. And what I mean by that is shots that are actually on goal that Taraposki has to make a save on. Yesterday, that wasn't the case.
Yeah, obviously a couple missing the net in last night's opening period. This one a little bit different. And on the flip side, Austin Gilbert, I think, looked pretty good there in that opening 22.
Yeah, he did look good. And as you mentioned, his last start at home was last season. And so now he's able to get that start and to get things under his belt. He made some good saves, especially when he needed to early on in the game. And that, I think, helped propel Missouri State a little bit in that first period.
Yeah, and I think it kind of set the tone a little bit. I don't think it was anything out of this world, but you know, you can have some jitters and you get your first start of the home schedule, and you know, you weren't anticipated to start tonight. You show up to the rink and now you got to start. There's a lot going on in that kid's head. So I think he looked pretty good there. Made a couple of big stops. He led a few rebounds, but it wasn't anything out of the ordinary. And I think that MSU's set up to play pretty well here over the next 40 minutes.
Let's take a look at the stats one more time before we go to break here. As you see that the Ice Bears, again, with just a 2-shot differential, but they are getting shots, and that's one of the biggest keys for Missouri State here in this hockey game. We will take a break, and when we come back, Staff Sergeant Tyler Weinstein, Toys for Tots coordinator. He will be our guest coming up in just a moment. After 1, we're tied at 1. We'll be back.
Pearson Kelly Office Products presents
Great Moments in Office Technology.
When Julie gets bored at work, she writes funny captions to pictures of animals she found online. Then she realized she could send all of her pictures in one gigantic message to her coworkers. At that moment, Julie created Junk Email. Now, employees can enjoy their days watching auto-tuned sneezing pandas. There are plenty of ways to waste your company's money. Your copier shouldn't be one of them. Pearson Kelly Office Products. Business made simple.
Hey, Missouri! Barrel Bob here. I'm MoDOT's Work Zone spokesbarrel. I see a lot of distracted drivers in work zones not paying attention to the road. Distracted driving is the #1 cause of crashes. The average text takes 5 seconds to read. At 55 miles per hour, you could travel the length of a football field blindfolded. Don't take the chance. I want you and my friends working on the roads to get home safely. Please buckle up and put your phone down. A message from the Missouri Department of Transportation.
Trilakes Marine has upped its game. Not only is Trilakes Marine the largest Yamaha outboard dealer in the state with G3 aluminum fishing boats and a full lineup of Suncatcher pontoon boats, Trilakes is now the area's newest and largest Bennington dealer. Bennington pontoons are the pinnacle of luxury pontoon boats, and Trilakes Marine has several models in stock. If you're ready to up your game on the lake, stop by Trilakes Marine today on your way to Table Rock, just 15 minutes south of Nixa on Highway 160, your full-service boat and motor dealer.
We're back at Brightspeed Ice Park and the Big Slice broadcast booth. Now with Staff Sergeant Tyler Weinstein, Toys for Tots coordinator, and Staff Sergeant. Call you Staff Sergeant, sir? What do I call you?
Tyler, Staff Sergeant.
Tyler, okay, we can do that. You are the coordinator of this. I assume it's a very big job.
It is. It's a good challenge.
Let's get your microphone just a little bit closer there. Okay. There we go. You said it's a big challenge.
It is a big job. It's a great challenge, and it's very rewarding.
As the coordinator, what do you have to do?
So everything from coordinating events like this to having the Marines in their dress blues to the picking up and the distribution of toys and donations and where they go between the agencies and the families that register with us.
What created or started the Toys for Tots program, and especially through the armed services?
So that's a great question. The Toys for Tots program in specific started off in 1947. A reserve major named William Hendricks, his wife, made some dolls and said, hey, go deliver these to kids in our local area. By 1948, it was a nationwide thing that the Marine Corps has adopted. It wasn't half as big as what it is now, but that's how it started.
And then, of course, it's grown and it's morphed, I guess, or changed based on the needs of people?
Yes, we've always focused mainly on toys. We really don't do anything else besides toys and literacy. A lot of books, a lot of reading materials.
I meant maybe when it first started, and I'm just throwing it out there and you can correct me, but maybe when it first started it might have been dolls or comfort gifts, but now maybe it's changed into different type. I mean, with electronics and technology, maybe gifts have changed over the years. Is kind of what I'm getting at.
Quite a bit. Some of the gifts and things that we get are very impressive. Even from when I was a child to now, what they are, it's very neat to see some of the things that are out there. Yes, it has changed quite a bit. So,
what is when I say this? What is the most expensive gift that was ever given? I mean, obviously it's a gift for kids, but some people might go overboard.
You know, I couldn't tell you that off the top of my head. I've seen, everything from iPads to PlayStations to the coin collections have come in. that we can't really give out. We figure out another way to donate things like that. But there's been some pretty expensive things that come through. I couldn't tell you what the most expensive was, though.
Normally, when you go through the Toys for Tots, it's usually at an event, like here at the ice rink, there's an event going on. But is there another avenue to be able to donate other than just seeing a Toys for Tots collection at an event?
You know, the best thing, and I know it's kind of an easy out, is I refer everybody to our website. You can find drop boxes all over the cities. It tells you where our warehouse is. I invite everybody to come down and see what we do at our warehouse, and see what their donations and their hard work goes to. So.
And what is the website if folks want to go to that?
toysfortots.org.
Toys, just like it is, toysfortots.org.
Correct.
Now, it's obviously helpful, and it's obviously a great thing for underprivileged folks. And when you get all the toys in, obviously there's a cutoff date, right? You have to sort through everything and figure things out. So everything that is collected how many weeks or days prior to distribution?
So this year I'm leaving myself 2 weeks prior to distribution to sort and fill the orders. I call them orders. I don't know a better word for them than that.
Sure.
To sort and fill, the request. This year we're going from the 16th through the 19th on the family request, and then we're working with the agencies on the 20th. So.
When you say you're giving yourself, do you have a staff of folks, or is this all you?
So we have the active duty staff here in Springfield, which is right around eight Marines. And so they come out and we focus our efforts the month of December for Toys for Tots. Today we had all of our reserve Marines that are all local from the area come out and really put in a lot of work at the warehouse. So they come down when they can, and just like everybody else, they have regular lives to do. So.
I want to bring attention to our producer. Folks can't see it, but there's Scott down in the corner right there, and Scott is a Marine himself.
Scott.
So good to we're in good hands here, and I'm sure that everybody else with the Marines behind this is in good hands too.
Yes, I think so.
Now, are there other agencies that do things, or is this exclusive to just the Marines?
So there is other agencies that work with Toys for Tots. So Toys for Tots it's not exclusive to Marines. We won't say, no, you can't help, you can't do anything with us.
Sure.
Here in Springfield, it is ran by the Marines. Other cities have civilian volunteers that run it, and they do a great job. The civilian campaign coordinators are really amazing.
Is the Toys for Tots program, and let's just use the Marines for example, is it only during Christmas time, or are there other times of the year that maybe this program runs?
So we run, our official campaign dates are October 1st through December. We work on it year-round, though. We just don't pull away from our main mission throughout the rest of the year.
So the main mission is really Christmas time?
Yes, for Toys for Tots.
Okay, so it's an all-year-round scenario to be able to get ready for Christmas time.
We're constantly thinking about it and working on it and how to improve and increase our campaigns while keeping it manageable. So
what do you do? We're done. We're in the new year. Everything's been distributed. What's your process, let's say starting in January, to get ready for October?
So the first thing we do is we do our after-action report back to the campaign headquarters. And then I start my networking, maintaining my relationships. This year and last year, it seemed like a little struggle for us to find a warehouse. So we'll keep our eyes peeled for that. We really learn from the year before and try to improve on what we've done.
Finding a warehouse, I assume that means there's a lot of donations to deal with.
There is a lot of donations to deal with. Just in the Springfield area last year, if I'm correct, there was 13,000 children with around 33,000 toys.
That's a lot to deal with.
That is. It's quite a bit.
Do you anticipate this growing to the point where maybe you might have to figure out other options. And what I mean by that is it to the point where it's still manageable, or are you getting to the point where you feel like, okay, we're going to have to think into the future here because it's going so well?
So we're kind of at that point right now. What I will say is here in the local community, we have some really great organizations that help us out. And basically, if we need something, or we need volunteers, or we need anybody to come stand with us at events like this, there's no hesitation. It's really amazing the folks around the area, what they do for us, just in the community in general.
Is there, you said the website, so is that the main point of contact? It will be the website?
Yes, because we do have changeover, we have Marines moving, we have things like that. You type in your, Toys for Tots, and then you could type in your city, and anywhere in the nation it's going to point you in the nearest direction.
You said it's toysfortots.org, correct? So I would assume there's probably some other fake websites out there. Don't click on any other ones. Toysfortots.org.
Yep, that's correct.
And it's not for. It's the name for Toys for Tots, not the number 4.
Not the number 4.
So
that's
if you
correct.
see that, don't click on that.
Don't click on that one. That's not the good one. I actually haven't seen that. So,
Tyler Weinstein, Staff Sergeant for Toys for Tots as the coordinator. How many years have you been the coordinator?
This is my first year being a coordinator.
When I ask this question, do you like it? I'm sure I'm going to get a good answer, right?
Yes, like I said, it's a lot of work, but it's so rewarding. A lot of the things that we do as Marines, we don't get to see the good out of. And this is one of the things that we do get to, and it's very rewarding to do.
Well, I appreciate it. The team is making their way out of the ice. We will make our way back through the Big Slice broadcast booth, but thank you so much for doing this, Staff Sergeant Tyler Weinstein. Appreciate it. The Toys for Tots coordinator. Thank you again.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. As we bring in Steve Granado. And wait for the horn to go away, which it has. Both teams making their way out onto the ice. And we will get ready for period number 2 coming up in just a moment. Keep in mind, we're going to start 4-on-4 as there still is 1:52 left in the coincidental penalties to Levine and Babb. But Steve, a lot of ice 4-on-4.
Yeah, there's something that they were looking for last night. I was trying to find more open ice, something that they really didn't get a lot of. And again, I think kind of made our peace a little bit with the first period. Not exactly the strongest period you'll ever see of hockey, but some things to build off of. And I think that you're going to try and find some of those things here in this second period. And like you said, with a 4-on-4 to start, that could give you a little bit more open ice as Missouri State controls the opening draw. Second period of action, tied at 1. After the opening 20, Joey Bacardi looks out and finds Derek Cagle up along the far side wall, who zips it in to be stopped behind by Taraposky. 13 shots on goal in the first 20 minutes of play for Midland, 14 on the opposing side from Missouri State as Jack Dapron lays the hit on Logan Watton at the half wall in front of the Missouri State bench. Nice little pass into the center of the ice. Touched around by Hugo Lukachovic. And this one will be knocked here to the near side wall. Wadden there to Corral. Lukachovic plays to the line. $1:10 to go here in the 4-on-4. We skate for the first time here tonight. We had a 4-on-4 briefly in last night's contest as well, as Logan Wadden lays to the line. Stepped into by Wisely, and there's Austin Gilbert with the leg pads. Austin Gilbert stopping 14 of 15 in his first start here on home ice this season, just his third game overall this season.
Imagine, like you said earlier, being told, by the way, you're in. You come to the game and you have to change your warm-up.
I mean, you knew that he was in all likelihood going to be the backup today, at least on the score sheet as the backup goaltender with the anticipation of Brady Govero being unavailable today. Nice little entry, drop back to Brett Anderson. Been a while since he's found the back of the net as the defenseman sends it in off a defender's stick. And the Ice Bears forced to retreat out of the offensive side of the ice. 30 seconds to go, 4-on-4 style. Into the zone comes Ethan Brown. The kid out of Alberta has his pocket picked, and it's stretched out the other way. Here comes Tommy Raymer into the zone. Left wing, takes a rip, sends it over the crossbar. Missed everything. Saddled to the near side wall, and there's Brett Anderson to play it off of the same wall once more. Dips into the zone. Final 10 seconds of the coincidentals. With space up the gut, here comes Leo Milan. Does what he wants, sends it off of the stick of Sam Frederick right as the penalties expire, and we'll skate 5-on-5. So not much to speak of there in the first 2 or so minutes.
Another slow scenario for Missouri State, and much like period number 1, and much like we saw yesterday midway through the hockey game. And you know, we know that maybe yesterday could have a little bit to do with finding out that your number 1 goaltender isn't playing period number 2.
Yeah, that it doesn't help. This one slowly rolls on frame. Gilbert able to stick out the left leg pad and kick it away. That had nonchalant goal written all over it until the netminder reacted at the last second. Freely for Justice, tries to slip it into the middle for Weber, and hits off of a couple of skates and rotates back out to neutral ice. Coughed up the puck, handled now by Brian Wood, the Texas native. Trouble with it at the line. Kochanowski trying to keep the play alive. Nudged out by Nick Summers. Second line on here for Missouri State. Just about 3 minutes into this second period. Tied at 1, your score. Steve Casson, that's him. Steve Granado, that's me. Glad you're joining us for game 2 of this 2-game weekend between these two clubs. Don't forget, coming up after this one, Drury and Missouri State Division III style. As Gilbert not required to make a save on a long wrist shot that missed the corner. McGowan away with the puck. Banks it off of the glass, and it gets all the way back to the opposite wing. Through neutral ice for Guarienti. Sloughley tipped off the wall by Landon Booth, and it bounces its way to Gavin Henderson, offside the call.
A good slow start for Missouri State right now, but hopefully they'll kick it in gear here. If you're an Ice Bear fan, you want to see that. You don't want to wait till the end.
Both teams change, and I think a penalty coming up here to Midland. Being ushered to the penalty box is Andrew Larson.
So a power play, number 4 for Missouri State. 5 penalties, 10 minutes.
So we'll see what gives here this time around. Their first power play chance of the second period. See what the call is on Larson. Quick pass to the top as Raymer's bid knocked straight into the sky. Picked up, MSU peels it around, and the shot there from Evan Ross missed everything.
Penalty on the play, a bench minor on Midland for too many men on the ice.
That's their second.
2-minute penalty.
So
they had one in the first period yesterday. Short-handed now the other way. Already a short-handed goal surrendered in this game. And the second too many men penalty. That's not something you see every weekend. Raymer away with the puck behind the play. We have a penalty coming up here to Midland.
There's going to be a 2-man advantage for Missouri State.
Baginski was dispelled behind the MSU net, and we have a roughing call going against the Warriors, and it's Wadden going to the box. MSU led 1-0 About 9 minutes into the contest. And now, 11 minutes into the contest. Now they'll have a chance to try and get back in front here. They surrendered a goal late in the first period. Raymer off of the draw win. They'll play it up top. This is the line that has been favoring the right side of the rink during their power plays. See if they can kind of switch things up. Baginski on the handoff from Raymer. Slips with Ross. Stepping up. Sent wide of the net.
I think it's rough.
Yeah, roughing was the call. Ross hands it off. Goes up top again, Raymer. Raymer waiting for a seam. His shot got a big rebound there. And then it's knifed out to neutral ice. Good stretch pass. Here comes Baginski. Nice feed across. Waiting and saw that one kept out. Man, that had goal written all over it. Evan Ross was robbed. Raymer trying to keep up with the play, and his shot misses the corner. Man, I could have sworn Evan Ross was going to bury that one. He had all the time and space in the world. Play resumes. Raymer plays down low. Fed back to the opposite wing. Score! Evan Ross didn't miss that one. A one-timer to make it 2-1. Power play goal, Missouri State.
Well, they've once again favored that right side, and Missouri State on the front end of a two-man advantage. There's still now 59 seconds remaining in the second advantage, but they get a power play goal. They are now 2 for 4 with the man advantage, and they take a 2-1 lead.
Just a nifty little play. Evan Ross, arguably that wasn't even his best look of the power play.
Goal to number 71, Evan Ross. Assist to number 10, Will Baginski, and number 34, Duke Bacardi at 5 minutes, 22 seconds. That's a Missouri State.
Now, Baginski's had himself a real nice weekend. Into the zone now, Jack Dapron. Plays catch on the far side of the rink. Bratton drops it up top. Cagle with a shot, missed everything. Still 20 seconds to go in the latter half of this, what was 5-on-3 power play. Now 5-on-4. Shot low, kicked away, kept out by Taraposky. Stripped along the wall, but feathered out. Getting to the loose puck and clearing was Isaac Hood. He is the lone goal scored. Here in this one, it was a shorthander. Little trouble in their own end for MSU. Bratton able to kick it ahead as Wanton come out of the penalty box. And we are back to even strength hockey. So 3 shots on goal in that power play. They make good on one of them, and that's all the one you need. It's 2-1 MSU with speed now. Kochanowski dives into the zone, spins it back to the near side wall. Weber there to clean it off of the hash mark. Lays it up top, swing and a miss. Just a little foul ball that time from Jared Wisely. The Illinois native chopped at it and just didn't get a clean look at it. On a backhand, Nick Summers trying to play it off of the near side wall. Now it's a race for possession up along the glass. McGowan tied up in there, comes squirting free, swept back into the zone, but a icing is called.
Second period, once again, good for Missouri State. We've questioned that before, as it's been tough for them in the second period with the long change, but all of a sudden, last few games, it has been a boon for them.
Yeah, I'd say about 3 or 4 games, maybe even 5. Memory serves. Their second periods have been a lot better. MSU wins the draw, but it forces them outside of the zone. Nice Bears with a slim advantage in faceoffs tonight, 17-12. Not too dissimilar than what we saw yesterday, just an even-keeled down the middle game. But obviously the Warriors' Achilles heel so far has been penalties. Not just tonight, but yesterday too. And avoidable penalties, right? The
Absolutely.
Two different too many men on the ice calls. Landon Booth settles the puck through the logo and beyond as he cuts in, tries to work his way around Kochanowski. The Tennessean pushes him to the wall. They'll slip it to the weak side, near side wall. Cardinal Tom feathers it behind his own net. Away with the puck. Dropped into the zone by Andrew Larson. Swept around on the near side wall. Gavin Henderson didn't realize it was right there at his skate. Now he does. Dangerous pass, nearly picked off, but Booth is able to tip it to keep it away. Ethan Brown looking over his options, slips it up the middle. Wadden gets pounced upon quickly. Raymer and Levine just tag teamed him. And that's the two defensemen I want on the ice, with the captain coming right up the gut. That's, I think you just saw exactly why. Those are the two guys I want right there in that situation.
Yeah, and the one thing is he took a step and he was able to get past him just enough to get a shot off, but not enough to make it in an area that was not for the Ice Bears to be able to prevent any good scoring chance there.
MSU another face-off win deep in their own zone. They'll flail it out. It'll ricochet, and Ethan Brown will play it off of the wall. 11.5 to go in this second period. MSU recently grabbing the lead. Here's Wadden now in on a 2-on-1 kick save. Austin Gilbert stuck right there with him, paid no mind to the opposite wing. Trouble up along the far side wall. That's Hugo Lukachovic. Lifted as Duke Bacardi just got hit on the backside. He hit on his blind side, and he's slow to get up. Looks like he's favoring the left elbow. May have got hit in the funny bone if I had to take a guess.
Well, let's hope so. He's going to the bench, and he is down looking as the trainer looks at him. Didn't even care about his stick. He just went straight to the bench.
Yeah, that was a weird little hit as he was looking the other way. Not enough for a penalty, obviously.
One thing Missouri State cannot afford is injuries, especially to their second leading scorer.
Sure. Oh, show me any team that can handle that.
Yeah.
Well, we approach the halfway point of the hockey game. 10:32 to go here in the second. Goal scorers for MSU, Evan Ross and Joey Bacardi in reverse order. And the lone goal scorer shorthanded for Isaac Hood on the Warriors side. Tied up in the face-off dot. Midland comes away with the puck. Brown feathers it up the far side wing. Joey Bacardi checks the blind spots. Puck is hunted down by Graffelman and pushed away. Blue and orange playing with it here in the offensive side. Graffelman now winning the foot race against Joey Bacardi. Drops it for Bretzko. 6 games goalless streak, 6 games pointless streak for Bretzko. Has been rather quiet here tonight. Graffelman stood up by Bacardi as the puck whips to the opposite wing. Babb up top. Shot ricocheted, got through the legs of Gilbert, but missed wide. Looked like it kind of skirted the edge of the skate there, right in the 5-hole, and enough of a touch to miss wide. Meanwhile, Babb hands it off to Bretzko. And we have a whistle as it looked like Tommy Babb made a collision with the MSU net, dislodging it there. So they'll have to fix that, and we'll drop the puck again.
Shots even up at 19 apiece. But the key is Missouri State on the scoreboard on the power play. All goals have been special team goals.
How about
2
that?
power play goals and a shorthanded one.
It's a little validating for us, right, when you say that? Because you're like, we've been talking about how important special teams are. Yeah.
Yep.
And you go, oh, well, okay, maybe I do know what I'm talking about. That happens every now and then. Here's Gilbert making a save.
Yeah, we get lucky every once in a while.
Yeah, you know, even a blind squirrel finds a nut, right?
Yeah, that's why you're here.
And this one hit the outside of the post. Midland pouring it on right now. Gilbert pounces on top to get that salvation whistle.
Yeah, we always talk about it. The goalie's best friend, and the pipe, when you hear that sound, and as long as you can make the save, it's the goalie's best friend.
The Warriors bidding to take, or rather tie this game. Boy, they putting their best foot forward right now. A great couple of shifts for the Warriors. Now here's another look on its way. Shot disrupted, however. Jared Wisely didn't get a lot on that one. Battle for possession below the 4x6. It's nudged out far side wall. Stepping up is Jack Olson. Olson met on the far side with Tommy Levine, and that one's going to be knocked out. Not far enough for icing. MSU breathes a sigh of relief for now. Lifted the stick, Luke Guarienti. Had some trouble. Warriors forced to retreat. Jack Olson with the handle. Nick Summers watching him closely, forcing a turnover as Raymer plays it off the wall and in. Raymer away from the play, and Larson still mixing it up. Now Larson, the outlet pass, at least that was the plan. It's stuck in his skates and stays in the zone. Jumping in, Terrence Josephson plays it out to the wall. Handled by Brett Anderson, has his pocket picked. By himself, Guarienti waits, scores! Guarienti with his first goal of the season. Took the puck all by himself on a breakaway to make it a 2-2 game. That's one you dream about. And he just beat Austin Gilbert. He bit on that little head fake. Got him sprawled out.
Yeah, it's always tough especially when someone who has not scored a goal this season gets it. Let's get the call here.
Corvienti, unassisted goal, time 11 minutes, 52 seconds.
So Luke Guarienti with his first goal of the season.
First even strength goal too.
How about that? And ironically enough, coming on a breakaway when it doesn't look very even strength. That's 2 nights in a row that MSU has surrendered a goal after a turnover at the blue line.
That's what I was going to get back to. Is that's always tough on a goaltender when you're not expecting that, and then you have this break, and there's really no one back to help you out.
Icing the call.
Joe Bacardi, 11:25 of the first period, power play goal. Hood comes back for Midland, shorthanded goal at 18:15 in the second. Power play for Evan Ross at 5:22, 2-1 Missouri State, and then here at 11:52, and it's Guarienti with his first unassisted. It's 2-2.
Is that 2 unassisted goals tonight too?
That is Hood and
both of those are unassisted. How about that?
I was told unassisted means that the referees didn't get the passers. But in this case, it's truly unassisted.
Yes. Yeah, both on turnovers. Little tip by Brown up the gut. Ricochets and played out here by the Bears. Cagle will chase his own dump and try to feed it back to the center of the ice. Nobody home. Joey Bacardi retreats. Chip play to chase in for Milan Brutsko. Dangerous here into the center of the ice. Luckily for the Maroon, it's Bacardi to take the puck away. Plays it off the wall, chased down by Kochanowski. Ice Bears change. Out of the reach of everybody, Levine wins the foot race with Raymer, and Babb gives Raymer a little how do you do after the whistle. So again, this team, the MSU Ice Bears, will be off for over a month. Finals coming up next week, something I certainly don't miss.
Agreed.
And of course, we'll have the winter break, and we'll be back in action on the road to start in McKendree January the 10th, before returning here the week following. Puck deep in the zone. Bullied is Matthew Cardinal Tom. Chip out of the zone and handled here by Carl Graffelman. His shot got through, but never got to Gilbert. Missed wide near post. Nudged out, 2-on-2 developing. Baginski takes it in on the right wing. Takes a bump into the wall. Zach Weber dispels him and takes the puck away. Levine retreats. He's now keenly watching as Graffelman does his darndest to get it in on net. Gilbert's there. Under 6 to play here in the second.
Two once again for Missouri State, and the Ice Bears being outshot, that is, by 3, 23-20. And now they're going to have to kill off a penalty as Will Baginski sent to the box.
Yeah, this may have been after the fact. We didn't see. There was no arms raised. This is the first power play chance of the game for Midland. Of course, we did have a 4-on-4, but this is their first chance going a man up. As Gilbert makes a save, can't corral the rebound, however, as Joey Bacardi uses the backhand to play it, but not out. Weird little bounce towards the middle as Wadden, looked like a hit off his helmet. Hooking is the call, by the way, on Baginski as Ross nudges it out. With a bunch of speed, here comes Bretzko. Was hunting the net. It was nudged off of his handles. Kochanowski thinks otherwise against Kaspic. Plays it to the line. Waiting and waiting is Jared Wisely. Bretzko around. Wadden plays the line. Kochanowski switches sides. Big rebound there and a putback saved and another rebound score. 2 big rebounds and Matt Kochanowski got to both of them. He finishes the second to make it 3-2 Midland. Their first lead of the game.
And once again, Kochanowski, a guy that has had no points in the past 5 games, finally gets a goal. But it's at the expense of Missouri State, and they see their lead evaporate. It's 3-2 now in favor of Midland.
MSU a little too nonchalant in front of their net on the penalty kill. Results in back-to-back goals for the Warriors. So a couple of rips and a power play goal. They're 1 for 1 tonight. That'll be covered up as we await the official goal call. But it'll be Matt Kochanowski with his 9th of the year. Now 1 off of tying Bretzko and Babb for the team lead.
Kochanowski, number 10, assisted by number 25, Hugo Lukakovic, and number 44, Logan Watton.
So Lukakovic.
Time at 14 minutes, 56 seconds.
Lukakovic and Woden get the assists on the goal. The power play goal, 3 shots during that power play. And again, for the first time tonight, Midland leads. Meanwhile, away from the play, a big check sent Andrew Larson to the wall, and he's limping after the check. He seems to be pretty banged up and is hobbling his way back towards the Midland bench and is hunched over at the knees, amongst other things. So Larson limps to the Warriors bench. Bratton plays it. Skating around is Brian Wood. Wood gets to the blue line, sends it off of Wadden, skates, and then jumps back to the loose puck to play it back to the line. Trying to feed it to Cameron Reel was Bratton and didn't get it cleanly. Here's Bratton once more. He gets crushed into the wall, and a penalty coming up here to the Warriors again. Gilbert to the bench, extra attacker jumps on. Raymer waits to get the extra man at 6-on-5. And it will top this one to stop, and it's starting to get a little chippy out there.
Penalties is not something Missouri State wants to see, but at the same time, when penalties have been assessed to the opposite team, Missouri State has had their chances. They just have not scored on them.
Wow, did you see that? Isaac Hood just threw an elbow
at the official.
I think he may be going for more now. So he was obviously very upset at the call. He's trying to get free, and then it's right here. Throw that elbow. That was, wow, I don't think I've seen a skater do that before.
Yeah, it on the replay, it looked more of like a hand pushing him off. The elbow kind of went by him but didn't touch him, and then it was more of the hand pushing the official away, but regardless.
Yeah. I mean, the initial, I think what frustrated him, he didn't see it, is the official slipped. And so it probably felt like he just pulled on his jersey. But he slipped and was just grabbing on so he wouldn't fall. Yeah, I mean, something has to be done there.
And this could be a big turning point for Missouri State, and the scorers table still wants to know what's going on.
Yeah, and there's going to be a conversation here, rightfully so, for the Midland bench, as Jan Dom, a head coach for the Warriors, is being given the facts of the case, as it were.
So the last goal of the game was Kochanowski's. That's a power play goal. That was his 9th of the season. And it is a 3-2 lead for Midland. But what are they going to put on the board? Now, it's very possible that this could be a 10 or something to that effect, and Missouri State does not have a power play. But
yeah, I mean, but there was a penalty before that little elbow, unless they're just letting that little elbow go.
Well, they're bringing someone in to serve, but nothing on the scoreboard yet.
Yeah, well, I think our score table is still a little confused,
yeah, they're
as
trying
we
to
are.
Figure out, is it a minor that warrants a penalty on the board? Let's see.
Yeah, I think you have to, right? Because that was the initial call.
Sure,
at least I assume.
There's only 4 Midland skaters on the ice, so,
yeah,
there has to be a power play here, which would be number 6 for Missouri State.
The downfall of these Warriors. I think we've found it over the last 5 periods. Penalties. All right, there's a 5-minute major on the board. That's to Isaac Hood, as Midland wins the faceoff deep in their defensive end. Raymer holds the line. 5-on-4 for 5 minutes. In theory. Raymer again, with body sprawling in front
Penalty
of
on Midland,
Rossfeld.
number 17, Isaac Hood. 5 minutes for boarding and 10 minutes for game misconduct. Time at 16 minutes and 18 seconds.
So he gets 5-minute major for boarding and a game misconduct.
Yeah, the game misconduct for unsportsmanlike, which I assume is the abuse of an official.
That's 27 minutes on 8 penalties now, assessed to Midland, if you add the 15 that he just got assessed. Hood, that is.
Here's Raymer playing it to his left, waiting. Dapron shoots, missed it all. Raymer hustles to the loose puck on the far side wall, keeps the play in the zone. Nice little tic-tac pass to get to the opposite wing. They try to return the favor through the neutral zone, or rather through the middle of the ice, and didn't find anybody. Here's Bacardi sending it off of the end glass. 2:30 to go in this second period. MSU trying to find the equalizer. Here's Raymer through traffic, paddled away by Taraposky. And cleared as Midland will get some fresh legs.
Barring any penalties, the biggest key here is the game clock. So Missouri State has more of a power play, but the game clock now has 2:12 remaining.
Well, either way, the major will leak into the third. And it'll be about a minute 20 or so. That'll carry over into the final frame.
If you're Missouri State, you want to score one here,
Yeah.
or 2 or 3,
Yeah.
and still have a power play going into the third.
I see now you're getting greedy. Checking his blind spots, that's Luka Kovic, and he didn't have anybody there to help him. Wadden touches it for Luka Kovic. He doesn't have numbers. He'll take a rip anyway. Gilbert makes the save. Luka Kovic and Bratton now mixing things up. Summers tries to peel them away from each other. That's going to be an interesting third period, Steve.
It definitely will, as the third period for Missouri State has been profitable. But we'll see what happens. Barring here this next minute 39 seconds.
Bratton versus Weber. Bratton wins it. 90 seconds to go here in the second period. A couple of goals here in this second frame.
Cagle went sliding in after a check by Zach Weber.
I think he just caught him leaning in a weird direction. Kind of slipped him. Wasn't a hit out of this world or anything. Here's Cagle, just fine. Playing catch far side. He gets it back on a tee. His shot missed. There's Dapron on the feed in the setup. Puck comes squirting out the other way with speed. Here comes Guarienti. He takes a spill, loses it. Brown tries to slip it near post. Cagle runs in with Ethan Brown, who's hell-bent on keeping the puck in that corner before moving it out. Banked, and it missed the stick of Tommy Babb. Rolls back out, and electing to play it is Austin Gilbert. Dapron leads the charge the other way, stays onside. Dapron dips the shoulder, now slams on the brakes and pulls a U-turn behind the play. Ethan Brown is on his backside and appears to be holding his right shoulder.
Yeah, they stopped play, got the trainer out.
It's not a good sign. Well,
normally you wait until that team has possession of the puck, but they deemed it a little too curious to call the play, but he's got up and he's skating on his own power.
He's going straight to the locker room. There's only 30 seconds left, so I get it. Obviously, he'll be worked on after this second period comes to a close here in a half a minute. Wishing the best for Ethan Brown.
23rd game this season.
2-3 our score. Midland with their first lead of the night, trying to sweep this weekend set after these two teams haven't seen each other in a while. Coming away with the puck, little feed across, shot on its way by Bacardi, and it got a piece of the netminder Taraposky. Liam Taraposky with his 19th save of the game. Raymer couldn't sneak it through. Final 10 seconds of the period. Still on a power play. This is swallowed up. That's save number 20. So face off, and let's try and snap one on frame quickly. To the face-off dot goes Mason Kaspick. He gets tied up there and crash into the corner. Slow to get up. Here's Raymer taking a rip, getting to his own rebound, and a kick save by Taraposky will end the period. 3-2 the score after 2, as MSU briefly with the advantage, or briefly with the tie. And other than that, another little chippy end of the period for both teams. Steve, your thoughts on the second period of play there?
Well, I think Missouri State did what they needed to do in the second period, but still a couple of lapses. Of course, that break from the red line on, and that, of course, is the difference in this hockey game. But the key is playing 60, and you cannot argue right now, or can you argue, that they have not played 60 at this point.
Yeah, well, obviously we've only played 40.
We only played 40,
yes,
correct.
Have they played 40 of the 40? I get what you're getting at here. Yeah, you mentioned the turnover there that led to the breakaway goal. I mean, that's twice now over the last 6 goals. 2 of them have been on offensive zone turnovers. So, yeah, it's these little momentary lapses. I think as a whole, when you're looking at MSU's game so far, I think they've played pretty well. They played fair at the absolute worst. It's just this little momentary lapses, leaving a couple of rebounds off of Gilbert, off of a couple of kick saves leads to a few goals. So there's these small little moments. I don't think that Missouri State's playing bad by any stretch of the imagination. No. They've put up 22 shots. They have 2 goals. They've battled back a little bit here. They've really been disciplined here over the weekend. It's just a matter of staying on it, right? Staying on it the remainder of the way, and they'll have 20 minutes to figure that out.
You can argue, and we're going to talk to Tommy Levine in the intermission coming up, but you can argue that when he got pushed into the bench, it maybe changed the tone a little bit of Midland.
Yeah, this game got a little chippier there towards the tail end of the second period. So that's obviously something that we're going to keep an eye on here in the final 20 as well. But I don't expect anything less. I mean, how many times have we seen tail end of a second game of the weekend, these guys start to get a little messed up with each other. They don't like each other at the end of 120 minutes.
So the key for the third period, obviously, for Missouri State, stay out of the box. They're doing that well. If Midland wants to, if you're an Ice Bear fan, if Midland wants to take some more penalties, fine. We'll accept it.
Yeah, they'll have a minute 17 of 5-on-4 uninterrupted unless something else happens because of that major penalty.
Let's take a look at the statistics here for this period, and of course a 2-1 make that a 3-2 lead, as we will have to update those statistics shortly, but we'll get back to that. I know Scott's doing a lot in the background, so I'll tell you what, Scott, not to worry, we'll let you update that. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll talk to Tommy Levine coming up in just a moment. 3-2 Midland after 2 periods.
Tri-Lakes Marine has upped its game. Not only is Tri-Lakes Marine the largest Yamaha outboard dealer in the state with G3 aluminum fishing boats and a full lineup of Suncatcher pontoon boats, Tri-Lakes is now the area's newest and largest Bennington dealer. Bennington pontoons are the pinnacle of luxury pontoon boats, and Tri-Lakes Marine has several models in stock. If you're ready to up your game on the lake, stop by Tri-Lakes Marine today on your way to Table Rock, just 15 minutes south of Nixa on Highway 160, your full-service boat and motor dealer.
Back at Brightspeed Ice Park. Steve Casson now talking with Thomas Levine out of St. Louis. And just before we got on the air, you said CBC. So you've been playing for a well-known high school. And take us through your playing time there. How much fun did you have there?
A lot of fun. I was varsity for all 4 years, and a lot of the guys who are here now I played with, and we got a state championship my sophomore year. So, I mean, that was absolutely amazing,
I would assume maybe that's one of the reasons why you chose Missouri State.
Yeah, that was definitely one of the biggest reasons, is just I knew a lot of the guys. I'd played with a lot of them, and we're all very similar, so I know that they were having a great time, and I definitely saw myself having, a good future here with them.
Did you have any other options?
Yeah, there were a couple other coaches reaching out. They were all kind of far away, and like West Virginia and Oregon, and those are all great, schools, great programs. But I thought here would have been kind of the easiest transition for me in terms of school and hockey, and I think I made the right choice, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, you would have had good weather in Oregon, but you get to stay here, and it's close to home-ish, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So 3 hours away.
Yeah, I like to have a little bit of distance, but I could still go home if I need to.
Absolutely. Thomas Levine, it is Levine. See, that's what I do.
Mm-hmm.
I've called you Levine before, but it's Levine, and it's spelled correctly, and sometimes you got to get it through your head that that's the way it needs to be spelled and pronounced. So I will do that from now on, and if not, just let me know.
I will.
Like other players have done that too. But Thomas Levine, right? Levine. Okay. We'll get it that way. What else have you been called?
Levigne, Levine, Levine, Levinge. There's a couple stragglers. Every once in a while I get a tournament where it's just they just completely botch it, and maybe like a little Levig, and then but Levine is rare. I usually don't get Levine on the first try. So
Lavigne is how it's pronounced. Do you know the origin?
Yeah. So great-great-grandfather somewhere from French Quebec, so it's French origins, but we found some papers about our great-great-grandpa being up in the French Quebec area, so that's what we say usually.
So Thomas Levine, defenseman for Missouri State. You're listed at 6'3", 172. Is that?
Be probably a little more on the weight. 6'3" sounds about right. I think I'm more around like 190.
Yeah, I'm thinking that too, because you'd be a stick right now if that was not the case. So we'll have to get that fixed. But has defense always been your favorite position?
Yeah. When I was younger, I started out as a forward, but I was taller than everybody from the start. So I think defense was I knew I was going to end up being a defender, and ever since, probably since I've been about 8 or 9, I've been on defense, and I've loved it ever since. So
much like a goaltender, defenders have to skate back a little bit more than they do skating up. Did you find that maybe your backward skating was better?
Yeah, definitely. And I've always found myself as more of a defensive player. You know, I block shots. I like to hit, and those are kind of my favorite. Those are my two big things that I do on defense, I would say. You know, I worry about getting the puck out, starting the plays, and then hopefully that they can transition into goals, you know.
Who was your favorite NHL team?
I got to go with the Blues.
But don't block shots like Robert Thomas did.
No.
That is not good. He's out for at least a month and a half, maybe more. Have you had extended, not that I want to talk about injuries, but have you had an extended situation?
Nothing extended. I've battled some lingering knee problems and other things like that, but nothing that has kept me out of lineup for an extended period of time. Knock on wood, of course.
Thomas Levine is joining us. I got that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You know, it's going to be a stickler for me because you're probably the only name that I have not had correct yet throughout the season. And that's what bugs me personally because I like to get them correct. And who knows? I may end up saying it wrong again. But we know that St. Louis is your favorite NHL team. Who is your favorite player?
Growing up, I really liked watching Dustin Byfuglien play. He just always hit people really hard. Yeah.
He kind of disappeared.
He went away, and he said he was coming back, but when he said he was leaving, everybody kind of assumed he was gone for good. And you know, with the amount of playing he did and what he did while he played, I guess I kind of get it. You know.
Sure.
I'm sure he was battling a lot, but it was always really fun to watch. Just kind of bully people.
Have you met any NHL players?
Yep. So, a good buddy, family friend of ours is Joe Vitale, St. Louis guy.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Broadcaster now.
Yep. So I've met him several times. Jamie Rivers was my coach for a couple of years. So nobody. Sammy Blais. I met him. I've hung out with him a couple times. I've gotten to know him a little bit. Other than that, that's about it, though.
Yeah, well, hey, those three are good company, absolutely. Both are now on Blues Radio. Well, one's on TV, one's on radio.
Absolutely.
With Jamie on TV, and fun stuff, absolutely. When you get ready for a game, is there any kind of ritual or anything that you kind of have to do? You know, skate on a certain foot at one time, or what do you have to do, or do you have to do anything?
Nothing too much in particular. A lot of the things that I go by is like, if I want to play good, I have to be having fun, and I have to be in a good spirit. That, you know, so I gotta be able to balance out taking it very serious, but also knowing I get to play hockey, I get to have fun with all my teammates. You know, so one of the biggest things is like always keep a smile on my face in the locker room. I like to dance. I like to have the energy in the locker room. And other than just stretching. It's really no rituals really, but it's more just getting in the zone, getting ready to battle for the whole 60 minutes, and always knowing that, you know, I'm blessed to be able to do this, and I have to have fun. If I'm not having fun, I'm not going to play good. If I take it too serious, I'm not going to play good, you know.
Thomas Levine is joining us of Missouri State. Do you have any pregame meals that you have to have always before a game?
My biggest thing is just I do chicken and pasta with some red sauce. I've done that for a long time, and seems to fuel me up, and it's really tasty. So,
do you have any brothers and sisters?
Yeah, I'm one of 7.
7. So you have a whole hockey team ready to go.
Oh yeah. I'm a triplet, so I have 2 triplet sisters, which you don't hear every day, and then I have 4 other older siblings as well, with 2 brothers who both played hockey.
So you have two triplet sisters.
Yes.
That were. I'm trying to figure this out here. So 2 triplet sisters.
I'm a triplet with 2 of the sisters. Yep. And we're the youngest. So we were all born at the same time, and then I have 4 other siblings.
So, and I could be wrong, but isn't that that'd be fraternal, right? If it's because if it was 3 sisters, they would be triplets. But if you were born with them, I don't know.
I'm not sure. I usually just tell people I'm a triplet, and then their mouth drops, and they're like, "Wow, I've only met one, or I've never met any." You know?
Yeah, and then here I am trying to figure this whole thing out. It's okay, but that's interesting. So you are the male portion of the 2 triplets,
Yep.
or the 2 sisters. So, and then how you said so 7 total?
Yeah, so I have 4 sisters and 2 brothers.
Okay. Any of them play hockey?
Yeah, 2 of my brothers both went to CBC, both older than me. They're, done with it now, but they both played hockey. They stopped after high school, but they all had great careers, and they had state championships at CBC. My sisters all played sports, volleyball, soccer. One of my sisters played D1 at University of Nebraska, Omaha. My 2 other sisters played club at Dayton, volleyball. So we're a very athletic family and very competitive family for sure.
Did you all get together and play street hockey or garage hockey or anything?
Yeah, after school, just about every day we'd be outside playing some type of sport for sure.
Who was the goalie then?
A lot of times me. I was stuck to be putting the pads. We had a set of pads, and my brother and his friends would go to town on me with a tennis ball, and they wouldn't take it easy, that's for sure.
So that must be a very interesting dynamic with 7 now, where the ages are a little bit different. So were some out in certain times, or did you all, I mean, obviously at one time you all lived under the same roof.
Yeah.
But I mean, going through high school and that age, did all 7 stay under the same roof, or had some moved out by then?
So it was a kind of a cool dynamic where there was always at least, I would say, 4 kids under the roof at all times. There was 5, there was 6, it went down to 4, and then it went back to 5. So people came and went. But it was super cool dynamic just to have, that somebody. And for a while, I was the only boy in the house, so it was me and 4 sisters, because both my brothers are the 2 oldest. But then they, they both moved back to St. Louis, so they were very close by. And now one of my oldest brother has a kid, and he's always there. So it's kind of cool to see how you leave, and then you find your way back always, it seems.
So did you find yourself with a lot of protection?
Yeah, I would say so, especially over my 2 triplet sisters, just because I was with them, on weekends, and their friends and my friends always hung out. So that was a super cool dynamic to have at my house on a Friday. Like, their friends would be over, my friends would be over. So that was definitely really cool, and it's a cool experience to have,
Thomas Levine is joining us of Missouri State. When you grew up, did hockey, or was hockey your favorite sport, or did you have to kind of grow into it, or how did that come about?
Hockey was always definitely my favorite sport. My mom's side of the family, hockey is very, very big. Almost everybody played. So I started when I was 3, but my dad was a soccer player at Notre Dame, so there was that little, they wanted me to play soccer, and I love soccer. It's probably my second favorite sport, at least just to watch. I wouldn't say I had a bright future ahead of, because I got kicked out of a lot of games because I played hockey on the soccer field most of the time.
Oh, there you go.
So that didn't really help. But no, I loved playing sports. I played just about all of them I could growing up: basketball, soccer, baseball. And I would love to go back and play them again and do it all over again. In high school, maybe have played freshman baseball or freshman soccer just for fun. That's probably the only. But other than that, hockey was definitely my everything, I would say.
Thomas Levine of Missouri State is joining us. I know you've played 7 games. There is a goose egg there, but you're a defenseman. But at the end of interviews, I always wish players more goals, and usually when I talk to them, they get goals. So we'll see what happens this weekend. All right. Hey, thanks so much for doing this.
Of course.
I appreciate it. Thomas Levine of Missouri State. We'll take a break. Be back. More hockey coming up.
This is Barrel Bob, MoDOT's Work Zone spokesbarrel. You'll be seeing more of me as the weather warms up. Crews will be working on our roads. That means lanes will be closed for construction and maintenance work on our highways. As you approach a work zone, please don't drive distracted. You need to pay attention. I want you and my friends working on the roads to all get home safely. Remember, buckle up and put down your phone. A message from the Missouri Department of Transportation.
Let's head for the 3rd period. Here's Steve Casson.
Along with Steve Granato and Scott Lutzke keeping us on the air. And Amari Johnson, who's hoping that there will be Andes in his future.
That's a ways to go.
I do, Steve.
Yeah. Amari. Yes. Okay, regardless if it's Andes, what are you going to have this time?
I'm gonna go get a pretzel again. I'm telling you, Steve, you gotta try the pretzel.
I might try pretzel. It sounds gross, but I might try it.
Sounds gross. You're killing me,
Thank you,
guys.
others.
Okay, I'll try it.
It's kind of Ben and Jerry's style.
Yeah,
you know?
that's true.
You gotta mix in the stuff.
I'll report back.
Yep.
All right. Fresh 20 minutes on the clock. Missouri State skating from the left to the right and from the right to the left. It'll be the Midland Warriors. 1:15 now as the clock rolls left in the major penalty that was assessed earlier to Isaac Hood. Abuse of officials went with it. And as the Ice Bears have possession back in their own zone, it is Duke Bacardi. Good to see him back out. He, if you remember, left the ice holding his elbow. Didn't even pick up a stick, didn't care, just went straight to the bench. Here come the Ice Bears as they bring it across the line. It's Baginski. He'll work it down in low along the goal line. Trips on the saucy ice over there, not frozen yet. To Bacardi, right side. He shoots, tipped in, score! It's a power play goal, and I believe it's Evan Ross who tips in to get his second goal of the game, and Missouri State has tied it up 3-3.
Well, this is what they were looking for, right, Steve? Something to energize them early in the period to try and set the tone for the final 20. So they get that little tip, and they find themselves back in an equalized game, and a little cherry on top. They still got 37 seconds of power play time to their credit.
This comes at 41 seconds of the period, and Missouri State, now I believe because of this major penalty, are on power play number 8. 36 seconds, as you mentioned, Steve, as the Ice Bears
Missouri
find themselves
State goal
with an advantage.
Scored by number 71, Evan Ross, assisted by number 34, Duke Bacardi, and number 10, Will Baginski.
Man, Baginski's a weekend, man. What a weekend.
That's a Missouri.
So Baginski with the assist also, and he is just on fire as well. Now has a 4-game point scoring streak. In fact, speaking of streaks, Duke Bacardi also has a 3-game point scoring streak. So the Ice Bears have tied it up 3-3, and now plenty of time as the power play has expired.
I would say successful power play.
I would agree. Yes, it was a 5-minute major, but if you get one on there, that's better than none. Here coming in is Bratton as he goes over the defenseman's stick. On the ice now is Anderson with a drive and a save by the goaltender Taraposki. All this third period starting off well for Missouri State, Steve.
Bringing the energy, something that was, I wouldn't say sorely missed. There's just been kind of an even-keeled game, save those little dust-ups between the two clubs.
Yeah, fair to say the word lacking, but regardless, fans are happy. It's a 3-3 contest. Ice Bears do keep it in, although it is Cardinal Tom with possession. Thomas Cardinal Tom is his name. 18:08 to go in the period. Puck comes right through the middle. It's grabbed in front on a drive by McCaw. Is steered aside, and the Ice Bears with possession. I don't know if you noticed it. Well, we'll get to my point in a second, but here comes Justice as he goes behind the net looking for a wraparound shot in front, and a good save there. Rebound up to the top, right side, or left side actually, comes right through after a save, and the Ice Bears will have possession. They do get, well, I thought they got it out. Now they finally do on a second effort tip. Comes out to center. Missouri State with a much needed change. Wisely sends it all the way down. This should be icing, and it is. 17:25 to go in the period. Icing will bring it back into the Midland end of the ice. But Steve, I don't know if fans noticed it or not, but Missouri State took a long time, maybe the last second, to get out onto the ice. Midland was already out. Missouri State was still kind of maybe still talking over something in the locker room, but whatever it was, it's worked.
Yeah, the Warriors were out and ready to go, like you said, and they were out about 2 minutes early, skating around and getting loose. So, yeah, maybe there was a little extra rallying cry in the locker room.
Bacardi in to take the draw, tried to sidestep and pick it up. And if you remember a couple of games ago, Duke Bacardi, off the draw, was able to get a goal when he was able to sidestep the defender and put it home. Didn't do it that time. Ice Bears with possession in their own zone. Off the boards and cleared out by Tommy Raymer. Here come the Ice Bears with Baginski. Has some room. He's going to tip it over to himself and try to create some space. But Baginski is up there with Leo Milan. Pushes through. Josephson comes in to help. Also in there, Frankie Shishido. Haven't called his name in a while. But Shishido out there to try to poke the puck away. Baginski still has it through his skates, as they still do. And Baginski is fallen on by Milan. Baginski still has the puck under him. Shishido is there, and finally it's poked free. That killed about 30 seconds of this game.
Now to your point, Steve, I don't remember seeing Shishido in the second period.
Puck to the corner. And, I would say they're shortening the bench, but we'll see what happens. Here's Ross, keeping it in play as the Ice Bears change. Now Joey Bacardi comes in with Kaspic in a drive, blockered over the net by Taraposki. Right side drive by Cagle misses. Left side drive by Ross is enough to let the Ice Bears change. Kaspic along the goal line. Here is Milan to intercept and take for Midland. Midland ranked number 18, Missouri State ranked number 23, and of course, rankings-wise, you hope Missouri State can split this game this weekend by winning today. You don't want to lose to, well, in this case, Missouri State, with being the lower-ranked team, it's fine if they lose, but you get a win, and that helps your cause a little bit.
Well, you definitely don't. You never want to lose, but especially in your home barn.
Absolutely.
Let alone both games of back-to-back.
Which early on this season, that was Missouri State's MO. It's changed a little bit now, as prior to this weekend, they had won 4 straight at home.
I remember we had mentioned this has been a roller coaster season. There have been some highs, there have certainly been some lows.
Delayed call coming up against Missouri State.
So we got a tripping call.
And who's going to go in for the Ice Bears? Now the officials are, hold on, they're talking this over here. No, it's 2 for Tripp.
And it's Bratton.
Bratton will go. He was already on the bench. 3 penalties, 6 minutes. And just the second power play for the Warriors.
They didn't have many looks at it yesterday either.
So a chance to take the lead for Midland. Bratton is in for tripping. Ice Bears could use another shorthanded goal. Not in today's game, though. They've given up one. Drive comes in, missing wide to the right. Stays in the left wing corner. Bretzko up top. Work it to Wisely. Drive in as it gets deflected. 1:26 to go in the power play. 14:21 left in this game. So I'm looking at it, 14:21 left. I know this doesn't affect you, Steve, but it can if you want to help out. But there is about an hour and 4 minutes left until supposed puck drop for Division III. I don't know how much time we're going to have.
It feels a little tournament style-y, no?
It does.
Or just back-to-back, just bang them out.
Drive comes in, it's blocked after Bretzko got it, and Kaspic was able to deflect it out.
He's had a nice little game here, especially in the latter stages.
Ice Bears steal the puck, again swept all the way down by Kaspic.
Like the aggressive play there by Mason.
Comes in to be the only forechecker. Wisely's there. Worked out to him. Now a drive that misses wide by Justice. 46 seconds remaining. Drive in from the right side. Just missed out in front as Graffelman got a drive. I don't think Gilbert saw it until it whizzed right by him. Then he reacted. Right side again, drive, and it just missed the open net as Gilbert dove all the way through the crease, and we get a stoppage here.
Well, that was Ethan Brown open on the opposite wing. I think the Ice Bears just kind of fell asleep on the back door. Let's take another look at it here, see if we can pick it up. It was Brown opposite wing. They just kind of left him alone over there. And I don't know if that puck rolled on him a little bit, because he took a little extra beat before pulling the trigger, and that allowed at least a little bit more of Austin Gilbert to get over, but he appeared to be swimming there a little down and out.
That's how that third goal happened. Now Missouri State with a 2-on-1, shorthanded for 12, shot in, score! Oh, what a goal! A short-handed goal by Missouri State. They take the lead 4-3, but more importantly, if we get a chance to look at this, Bacardi looked the entire time like he was going to pass, and then he gets the shot off. There it is, wait, pass, no, I'm going to shoot, and they score.
I'm still not sure what we just saw. Did he shoot that puck, or did it go off the defender's skate?
He shot it.
I mean, he's still faking me out because, like you said, it looked like he was going to pass. It looked like he was gung-ho, 100% trying to go to Baginski there because he was open on the opposite wing.
So both Bacardis have scored. Joey Bacardi on the power play. Now it is Duke Bacardi shorthanded.
Is that the first time this year that they both scored?
By number 34, Duke Bacardi, assisted by Will Baginski.
Here in the third period, and I will have to check my records. As far as scoring, yes, I believe there has been a goal and an assist situation. This one coming at 6:56, and Missouri State takes the lead on Duke Bacardi's goal, and Duke will get goal number 6 this season.
That was slick. I watched it live, I watched it back, and I'm still not sure what I saw. I'm still, my puzzler has yet to be solved.
Scott, I don't know if you can wait till the next stoppage and cue that one up again. Would like to take a look at it one more time. Now down to 12 minutes remaining here in the third period, and the Ice Bears have crawled back once again to take the lead. They had the lead on the first goal of the game, had a 2-1 lead, and now 4-3. Midland in the Ice Bears zone. Shot comes through, and we're probably maybe get a high stick here. We got a save, but apparently that's it, the net being dislodged, and that's the reason for the whistle.
All right, we got that replay back up here again, Steve. Oh, it was right there after. There we go. So it was the takeaway right there by Bacardi, and he breaks out the other way. A perfect 2-on-1. I still don't know what I'm looking at. It looked like he wanted to pass. I don't know what he ended up pulling off. All that matters is it went between the legs and in the back of the net.
Yeah, I immediately thought there was going to be a pass, and then midway through the shot, instead of it being a pass, he took a shot. Just a fantastic play. Puck all the way down into the Midland zone. Grabbed by Milan. He's been all over the ice. Milan with a drive. Tried to pull the same thing off, but it went wide. 11:15 now to go in period 3. Although Missouri State is being outshot 33-26. Open net out in front, and they score. Once again, Gilbert down and out. And you gotta wonder, are they taking advantage now of Gilbert being down and out? I don't think the defense is playing that bad. It's just he went to cover the puck.
And he missed. Yeah, he dove out and missed. But you got to give credit to the Warriors here tonight. They've been playing east-west really well. We saw it there in their power play. We saw it right there again. Just making Austin Gilbert move east to west is starting to work out.
Scored by number 34, Matthew McCaw. That goal is unassisted.
That's the third unassisted goal tonight. Third, that's from McCaw. How about that? 3 unassisted goals in one game. 2 Bacardis getting in the goal column. 2 shorthanded goals in this one.
Second goal for McCaw at 8:53. But yeah, another set of unassisted goals. Third one this game. Hood with a shorthanded unassisted. And then it was Guariente with an unassisted goal in the second. And now this one by McCaw, 4-4. Here come the Ice Bears across the line, and in way too soon was Evan Ross. Well, Midland crawling back.
Well, they've responded every time. Got to give them credit. They have responded and responded and responded.
All but 2 goals are special team goals.
And how about this for Matt McCaw, Steve? This is the first multi-goal game of his career since his first game of his career, October 16, 2021, with Williston State. It's his 4th year in Acha hockey. He had a 2-goal, 1-assist game in his very first game in Acha hockey, and it has been 3 years since, and he's got himself a 2-goal night.
Now, you're talking about McCaw?
Yeah. Did you say that was his second tonight?
No, his second goal of the
season.
Oh, okay. My apologies. So I made you look at stats.
Yeah, it made me dig it up.
Yeah, second goal of the season, because the only multiple goal scorer right now is Ross. Now, you could argue both Picardis equal 1.
There you go.
Coming down to 10-0, well, make it 10 minutes now, left in the third period. Oh, Bacardi plucks it out of the air. Now to Babb. He'll have it. And Midland with Babb to carry it out. Ice Bears steal. Keep it on the line does Baginski. Nice move in front and a drive by Josephson goes up high. Rebound right out in front. And players pushing each other away here. And we get a whistle, and it's going to be a penalty on the push, or more like a hook is what it will be called. And Missouri State, we've said it before, they're going on the power play. This should be power play number 9. Wisely will go in. 9 penalties, 29 minutes against the Warriors. Just 3 penalties, 6 minutes against Missouri State. But I'm impressed how you looked it up so fast, Steve.
It would have been a great note if it were correct.
Yeah, my mistake there on that. Here come the Ice Bears as they bring it across the line in the zone. Left side, Baginski. He stops up, falls down. Have you noticed how many players have stopped up and fallen down on this ice on both sides? Not just Missouri State. Here's Bacardi. Joey up top to Raymer. 1:29 to go on the power play. Drive in. It's blocked. Ice Bears keep. Baginski shot in. Oh, what a save. Is right on the doorstep was Duke Bacardi. And it was just kicked out at the last moment by Taraposki. Ice Bears to reset in their own zone. Line change for Midland. Down to 1:06 remaining with the man advantage. The Ice Bears give it up. Trying to work it again behind their net is Raymer. Now Missouri State with possession. Near side boards. Bacardi had it taken away from him. Drop back behind and it'll be Baginski. Now 49 seconds remaining in the power play. Shot in by Tommy Dapron. Worked over to the corner. Bacardi absorbs a hit. And that one came off of the latest goal scorer, McCaw. Back out to center. Ice Bears rimmed around again. 29 seconds remaining. 4-4 deadlock, coming down to under 8 minutes to remain in this period. And the final period of the 24 part of the season of 24-25 Puck flipped in. Midland, though, still has a couple of games next week. They're not finished yet. But Missouri State will be, at least for the season here. Puck chipped in. Now power play is over. We're back to 5-on-5.
No shots on goal.
All the way down.
At least none credited.
Correct.
Even though it looked like there was a kick save there.
Yeah, that should have been a shot.
Yeah, they didn't give him one.
Here come the Ice Bears as McGowan now. He'll drive it in. 7:14 to go in the period. And good play by the Ice Bears to keep it in, but Milan will clear it all the way out. So Missouri State looking to get back to 500. Midland also looking to get back to 500. The Ice Bears 8-9-2. Midland, the Warriors 10-11-1. Milan has it tipped forward all the way down, no icing. So Missouri State with possession. One thing we don't want is overtime, right?
D3 doesn't.
Well, I mean broadcast-wise. I don't care if it does. You just work with it. But it's going to put a lot of pressure on our staff to try to get all this set up and ready to go. Here comes Weber. Sends it across the line. Looks like we may have some time here, but if you're an Ice Bear fan, just win it in regulation. Be done with it.
They've not fared well in OT this year.
Yeah, that has been a tough scenario for Missouri State. They have won a couple, though. Shot comes in, tip score. Midland takes the lead again.
This Midland squad is resilient. And you can see it every shift. They just find a way. This time, Lachey Richer just gets to a little loose one. Reaches out with the offhand and pokes it home. See again the east to west play. That has been working so well for Midland in the latter half of this game.
Third goal for Lachey Richer.
This season.
This season. Not the game. Second straight goal for Midland.
Last Reichert with an assist to number 9, Zach Justice, and number 10, Matthew Kokanowski.
That goal coming at the 14-minute mark for Midland. So Richer with his third, Justice and Kokanowski. Now 5:39 remains in this period.
Just 26 shots up on that board for Missouri State right now, Steve. I'm not going to say that's like hyper low. 5.5 to go. You're going to have to get a couple more. I remember it was the third period yesterday that was the trouble spot.
Yeah, the Ice Bears kind of picked it up with time running out, but you don't want to do that with time running out.
Yeah, you want to give yourself the widest landing spot, right? You want to find the biggest lane you can. You don't want to have to land it on a haystack.
We're now with the Ice Bears in, and Bacardi gets a drive that's blocked down low. Puck taken away. And here come the Midland Warriors as we're approaching the Cadence Insurance Final Five. Ice Bears have it. Well, the best way to land a plane is to find the glide slope, that is, and make sure you land on the numbers. Well, just outside the numbers. I'm a wannabe pilot.
There you go.
Don't know if I got half of that right.
Fooled me.
Here's a drive in, missing wide by Bratton. And kicked ahead, Justice. He leans on, gets a shot off, good save there. As Gilbert makes the save. Austin in 2 games prior to today's start 0-2, and hoping to change that around here, but Missouri State is trailing with 4:09 to go in the period. So on the runway, they have landing marks. They have these marks that are about 1,000 feet past the numbers, and that's your prime zone where you want to land.
There you go.
We get an icing call here.
5 goals allowed by Missouri State, the second most they've surrendered here at home twice this year. They've been victim to 8 goals, once against Oklahoma on October the 25th. That was the most recent, and then once against Colorado on October 5th. So 25th and 5th of October. 2 times they've given up 8, but this is the second most they've surrendered here on this ice.
It's been tough for Missouri State as they are looking for a little bit of life here. 3:42 to go.
Now this is roughly around when things turned back in their favor. Yesterday, but like we mentioned, he just didn't have enough racetrack.
Helped by a couple of penalties too, though.
That's the story of the weekend.
Ice Bears back in their own zone. It was tipped by Missouri State, so no icing. It'll be Levine to shovel it over to the far side. On the ice now, Gavin Henderson worked off of the stick of Landon Booth. And now the Ice Bears bring it across the line with Henderson. Stolen from him, cleared out to center, worked over to Babb as, that is not Babb. Yeah, it is Babb. 14, they score. Oh, what a goal. Innocent from the right side, and it is a 2-goal lead for Midland.
Well, what did we say, Steve? It wasn't going to be long for Milan Bretsko. And he finds himself, and stop me if you've heard this before, east to west again. They find Bretsko across the crease, and he just hammers one. Gets it in his wheelhouse, pulls it in, and snaps one top shelf. And there's not much you can do if you're Austin Gilbert. You're moving to your left. You're trying to keep your glove high, and that's just an absolute rocket. Very impressed with Bretsko's snapshot, and he showed it off right
71, there. Milan Bretsko, assisted by number 14, Thomas Babb.
17:04, the time of that goal. As we talked about Babb with the puck, and Bretsko will get goal number 11. As we get an offside here. So Missouri State ranked number 23, and they, if Missouri State does not turn it around here in the next 2:32, will get swept by the number 18 Midland Warriors. We'll see what happens. Break it down, you got to get a goal every about minute and 5 seconds. Oh, Bacardi hanging on his man, turned away. Ice Bears have it again.
They haven't pulled the netminder.
They have not. I don't think they will, though. Brown with it. Ethan Brown sends the backhander through, and Missouri State will now, with Baginski, come up at the 2-minute warning. Across the line, into the zone. Baginski's shot deflected up high, did not go out of play, so it's kept in by Frederick. Worked by Baginski left side. He shoots through traffic, and it gets deflected up and out of play.
Yeah, Gilbert,
tipped, so it'll stay in the zone.
Sorry, Steve. Gilbert started creeping out of the net there about 10 seconds ago. Got to the near hash mark and never left.
Well, we'll see. He's looking at the bench to see if he does get pulled or not.
Yeah, they're looking to fix him here. Kind of looks like Ryan Armstrong, assistant coach, is the one that's going to be on Austin Gilbert duty. I think they're going to wait to win a faceoff, hopefully.
They do. Shot comes in, steered into the corner off the drive by Cameron Reel. Behind the net. Obviously, the key is to tie up the puck if you can, but Missouri State has possession. Goaltender stays in. Over to the right side. Drive in by Wood. We get a whistle. And it's going to be a penalty.
Yeah, it's going to go against Missouri State.
Slashing call. Bratton.
And that pretty much wraps this thing up. Steve, you had mentioned that they weren't going to pull Austin Gilbert. I'm curious as to why. Why not? I mean, you're down 2. You have 2 minutes. It's not too dissimilar of a situation you were in last night. I don't understand the calculation on that play in particular. Obviously, it's not making a difference here, but I don't see the harm in pulling Austin Gilbert unless you're really concerned about your goal differential.
Now, typically, we haven't seen it much in the NHL. Well, actually, we have seen it much in the NHL where you end up giving up a goal when you had a great chance.
15, Jared Bratton, 2 minutes for slashing.
So slashing is the call. But in the ACHA, it's a little different. And you kind of want to give yourself as much of a chance as possible. And we did see it yesterday. Missouri State scored, albeit late in the period. But now, basically, they'll be shorthanded for the remainder of this game. As the clock is coming down to 1 minute left, and there's still 1:30 on the power play.
They're just kind of dribbling out the clock here.
Might as well get to the puck and see what you can do. They finally do. Drive up high, missing wide, into the corner for Brown. And so in 39 seconds, Missouri State will go 2 games under 500 for the season, for the first part of the season. 30 seconds.
Kind of a bit of a sour end to this part of the calendar year.
The Ice Bears who took a 1-0 lead early on, then a 2-1 lead, then a 4-3 lead. And now, with 14 seconds remaining, Kaspick tried to get a drive off. They will end up losing this game by a count of 6-4, barring any further issues with 5 seconds left. And that'll do it. Buzzer sounds, and Missouri State with their second straight loss here this weekend.
That's a good hockey club over there. Midland played very well here this weekend. Obviously, you look at the board, 6 goals on 39 shots here tonight. They clearly found the weaknesses. They had their own. There's no denying they have their own weaknesses, and obviously on the power play or the penalties they took here tonight, a lot of them were avoidable, but they're able to weather that storm, and they kind of just outshoot it and just kind of muscle their way through.
Now we get the updated stats now. Thanks so much, Scott, for updating that. Into the third period, 10 shots on Austin Gilbert, 3-period total of 39. Missouri State only mustering 6 on Taraposki, 3-period total of 28. You see the goals in the third period. McCaw and Richer along with Bretzko. Missouri State in the third with Ross on the power play and shorthanded Bacardi, and that Bacardi goal was Duke Bacardi. First Bacardi goal back in the first period, it was Joey Bacardi. And Steve, yeah, I believe that's the first time both Bacardis have scored goals in a game, but they have both had points in a game before, too. So that is what is going to do it here for the final time this season, as we get some additional stats, I believe, up on the board. But again, Steve, Missouri State, it's been tough here this weekend. They hope to come out on top, at least get a game. Strength of schedule-wise, ranking-wise, this is what was supposed to happen. Of course, the Ice Bears disagree. They would like to have had a game here tonight, but they are the lower-ranked team to Midland.
Yeah, I think for about 4 of 6 periods, they really skated well with a higher-ranked team. And like I said, Midland, that's a good club over there, and I think it was pretty obvious from shift 1 last night that was a pretty good club, and they knew what they were doing. Yes, they made a couple of bad mistakes, most notably with the too many men penalties that they took here this weekend. But, they ran into a decent netminder, and Taraposki, he looked pretty good between the pipes, and they had their goaltending issues themselves. With Govero going down last night, Ross Jones being forced to play 2 of 3 periods last night, and then going to your third string of Austin Gilbert here tonight. And I think one thing I learned a lot about this Midlands club is they learned as the game went on too, right? The way they saw the holes in Austin Gilbert and were able to expose those holes and find the back of the net 6 times.
Well, this game has come to an end. It also ends Missouri State's 24 portion of the 24-25 season. So, Scott, big thank you to you for helping us out, at least on the D1 side. We know we've got another game coming up. And Amari Johnson, big thank you for your camera work. But that is going to wrap things up here, Steve. Next season, or well, next year for the remainder of this season is going to be good. And it's good to have you aboard this season, too.
Yeah.
That's the one thing. And it's good to be able to do some of the innovative things that we've been doing here at Web Sports Radio, like this great camera here, so we can have ourselves on camera. I mean, I always felt like I am better suited for radio, face-wise, but it's okay. I
think you're looking great, Steve. And Merry Christmas to you, Happy Holidays,
Absolutely.
and a Happy New Year. We won't see you until January now, so it's going to be a little bit of a layoff. But I think this team will obviously kind of get a little healthier. Hopefully we see Hunter Bolger back on the ice next month. And hopefully Brady Govero's little bit of a bang-up from yesterday isn't too bad.
Absolutely.
And the boys come out strong and finish the season strong.
Scott, if you can take us out of here, we would love to get away for game number 2 coming up in mere moments. So again, thank you so much for tuning in. And as Missouri State once again falls twice, not only 3-2 yesterday, but today by a count of 6-4. For again, Steve Granado, Scott Lutzke, I'm Ari Johnson. I'm Steve Casson. Another game coming up. Don't go anywhere. Good night, everyone.
You've been listening to Missouri State Ice Bears Hockey with your host, Steve Casson. Thank you for tuning in to tonight's game. Ice Bears Hockey is a presentation of DS Sports Enterprises and WebSportsRadio.com.